right. It's been a while since I had to freaking record with Adobe, man. I'm so pissed off that freaking OBS is not cooperating with me at all.
Just randomly?
Yeah, dude. It's like every time I restart my computer, I'll have two cameras at work or one camera. Or it'll be just this camera. Or that one. They don't all sync up for whatever the fuck reason.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So do you actually...
Here, put that in front of your face. There you go.
Do you actually... is it seen on, like, YouTube? Or what are your...
Spotify.
On Spotify?
YouTube.
It's what I sent you.
Yeah.
All the ones that I sent you, that's what it is.
Setting the bar.
Yeah. Yeah. Get it? We're at a bar. We're setting the bar.
Brilliant marketing.
Yeah.
If you want a beer, let me know. I got beer.
I gotta do something else.
All right. Well, hold on a second.
Monsters run through me like that.
Yeah. So basically we were talking current events and all that kind of shit. Pritzker and that fat fuck trying to sit there and tell us that he's got a whole brand new spending plan for Illinois and all this kind of shit. It's like, dude, I want to have Doge come into Illinois and just fucking fuck shit up, dude.
See what they got going on.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
because
there'd be
where's
too many criers.
my thing is my number one question: where's all the weed money going?
No one knows.
Because isn't that
Someone's
supposed to be like
pockets.
our bailout?
Yeah.
Because I mean, it corrected Colorado in 5 years. And here we are 7 years into it. And we're
Nothing.
still fucking asking for more money. It's
Nothing.
Like, what the fuck? Dude?
And they charge so much in tax in Illinois for it. I was just talking to a guy yesterday. Say he goes to Michigan
Yeah.
to get it because it's too. I'm not a weed smoker, but you know, it's like he's like it's too expensive down here. Where is the money going? If there's that much tax money involved, that should be eliminating our tollways. That should be eliminated.
Dude, so much.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it was supposed to go back into the schools and the infrastructure
Right.
and
Yep.
shit like that, and then build its way out from
And our
there.
infrastructure is garbage.
No, it's completely garbage because nobody fucking kicks the people that are in there out because they're all fucking corrupt freaking pieces of shit, man. And I'm sorry, but they're all Democratic.
They are. I mean,
Well, it's Chicago for you. Chicago runs the whole state.
Right, which is sad because if you go south of fucking I-80, which is only 3/4 of the fucking state, it's all Republican. Gun owning, farmland owning, people that just want to live.
well, the city's always out match everything else for some reason.
Because it's the moneymaker.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
It's insane. Well, even like Brandon Johnson with this guy, like he's trying to stay relevant, and it's like, dude, you're destroying Chicago.
he needs to stop talking
He does.
because he just sounds dumb.
He's a fucking idiot.
It's like he's grasping at straws every time that he's speaking. It's like, dude, you're not doing
That's
anything.
because all these people, I feel like, that just jumped into these things, they were told one thing and they have no idea how to do the job. They don't. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's my whole point of politicians and everything like that. It's what do they do? What do they produce?
They're just
Nothing.
talkers.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all they are. And the half of them can't even talk for themselves. They got someone else telling them what to say. They're just faces. It's
and
all
we're
they
paying
are.
and we're paying both salaries, so you know what I mean? Like,
Right. And you got one guy in one guy's pocket to do one thing for his bidding, and then you got another guy doing another guy's bidding. It's like you're not even fucking there to do what you're supposed to do.
they're just
I think the biggest thing, the idea of politics back in the days was as social servants, and that they were to serve the people.
They were supposed to be the voice.
Yeah, but now it's the reversal. We're the servants to the politicians.
Yep.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because we're paying them.
And and we have no say anymore.
But and the whole thing about the politicians too is that they feel like that they're above the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, and I love it when Biden went to that freaking warehouse or whatever the hell.
Oh yeah. And they
that
put
plant.
the Trump hat on him.
Oh yeah, and he tried to walk away from the guy too because he asked him a direct question about what he did with our money and shit like that, and he just like, man,
Hey, come on,
and
man.
He stopped him. He's like, whoa. He's like, hold on a second
see.
there. You work for us. You can stand here and answer my questions, sir.
Yep.
You are our public servant,
Right.
And you're supposed to be our face. You will answer my question. And then I think it was about the guns.
Oh yeah.
When he said that, he's like, can you go out and get an AR-15? He's like, no, because they're illegal, so you're full of shit.
Yeah.
That was that was the one I was like, Sah.
Yeah. I just saw a thing about how they passed that AR-15 law. And
Is Trump gonna renounce that shit?
I didn't hear anything about that. All I heard about was the concealed carry, that he's going to have it a blanket law across the whole country so you can travel with your weapon.
Piece?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Which, that makes sense. I mean
You're American.
it's going to be
Why?
hard, though, because that's all state-based.
But see, I don't know why they don't accept our CCL, because we have the most strictest freaking gun
Right.
training
Yeah.
in the United States, regardless of what everybody else says. But it's just like now states are like starting to depict what states they're going to approve their
To
CCL.
carry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's starting to dwindle. When I first got my CCL 10 years ago in Illinois, there was only 3 states that didn't accept ours.
Yeah.
And it was Utah, Florida, and fucking...
Which
like-
Florida's weird because you could carry whatever you want down there.
Right. And then it was like some other, like Arizona or something like that, another state that's open carry. That's probably why that they don't accept it, because it's open carry.
Right, right.
So, but who fucking cares at that point?
But like, I'm still like baffled about like, isn't it it's an amendment? Like, how are they able to make so many rules about, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
how? Shouldn't that just be the main court topic? Like, when you go to court, like, well, no, it's the Second
It should
Amendment.
be a really
like,
quick,
like
yeah,
that's
you're
it.
right.
And then they
It's
should be like,
federal.
oh, you're right. But no, they fight everything, and it never comes out for us.
Well, no,
Like,
because the states feel like that their rules are more important and pertinent to the rules that is be set for the whole country.
that's fucked
That's
up.
fucking stupid. I mean,
Yep.
look at California.
California is a whole different country at that point, dude.
Dude, California needs to fall into the ocean.
Yep. That's what I
They,
said on
they
the,
really do,
That's
man.
what I said on the podcast last time I was here.
I hate that state.
For
It's
real.
beautiful. From tip to
See,
bottom, it's beautiful.
And
but
you know what's funny is that they're so fucking stupid. They don't do the history of actually L.A. L.A. was a big lake,
Oh yeah. Yep.
huge freshwater lake, and they drain the fucking
that's why they call it the Lakers.
For one fish.
for one fish.
One fish.
Yeah.
Well, Minnesota. they're-
So they drain that shit, and there goes your fucking water
Yep.
supply.
And you know that one fish, the numbers are still dwindling on its life. I swear to God. So what do we do?
Zang.
Yeah.
Well, being in
Awesome.
the trucking industry, California has the highest EPA standards in the country.
Yeah.
And they just raised it a year and a half ago that in order for a truck bringing stuff to California, you have to apply for a permit every single year. Every single truck is like $50 per truck for a permit. Then twice a year, you have to go to a California state approved EPA testing facility and pay $250 twice a year for each truck that goes into the state
Jesus.
in order to run in their state. If you don't, and you have a permit, if you don't go to a testing facility, it's a $10,000 fine per truck to the state of California.
Is that why they're going with that electronical trucks and bullshit?
Probably, they want to.
I don't see, they want to, but it'll never happen. It'll
Elon-
never
Didn't
happen.
they try it already?
Elon said that by 2036 or something, they're going to have a highway across all of U.S.
Bullshit.
One highway.
It'll never happen.
One highway that's going to be geared just for trucks.
East West, yeah,
Yeah.
just for electronic shit.
Yeah.
It'll never happen. And I know it's, I don't know if you guys have watched the show Landman.
No.
It's about oil drilling in Texas, and he makes a comment, because they're like, oh, we got to go to different kinds of energy sources, and we got to get rid of the use of oil, and he makes a comment in the show. He says, they say, oil. Everybody thinks oil is just cars and trucks and stuff. No, oil is in everything. Plastics.
Yeah.
Rubbers, everything has an oil base to it. If we take oil out of our world, we die. It's like removing water. We will not be what we are.
Yep.
And So I don't think it'll ever go to electric, full electric. They could fight and cry and do whatever
I think they're
want
gonna
about it.
dabble, but to make it Back to the Future-esque thing, where you know what I mean, like,
well, that's what I think that they're
no.
doing in Hawaii with that whole fucking thing. They're gonna sanction that whole area off, and they're
the
gonna make
Maui
it
stuff?
completely fucking electrical, and see how much, number one, it drains. See how much power they have to use to freaking chart everything in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if they go completely electric, you still need the nuclear plants to fucking power the
Yep.
shit. Number two, drawing all that electricity is going to pull more electricity than that thing can put out. I really think that's the problem.
to me, I think you're right, and I think they'll try it, but they're also way too nervous about the grid stuff.
Oh yeah.
The more stuff we're gonna put on, it's electric, it's better, electric. Okay, and then our grids go down and fucking nothing works.
Yep.
Now you have a whole highway of trucks just stopped.
There.
Well,
Well, the trucks
you know-
aren't efficient enough either yet.
yeah.
You know, they can't make the climbs up the mountains the way.
Well, no,
diesel
because they're
motors
pulling.
can.
They're the trucks themselves.
The batteries
are
are fucking heavy.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
20 tons on
Yeah.
the fucking.
And that's the other issue is fires with those. They're hard to put out.
Yeah. Well,
You know, you just let them burn.
Yeah, and nobody has the gel to put them out
No.
either, because they just let it just burn through
Yeah,
the
it's
street.
like white phosphorus
Yeah.
at that point. Like,
Yeah, California's a joke. They tried to. What did they change to? You can't have a gas lawnmower.
Is
in
that what it is now?
California. Yeah. They did that last year. Then they can't even enforce that. So how are they gonna? You know what? The Gestapo shows up to
Yeah,
your
right.
backyard like, dude. Is that a pull start? What is that?
Is that a Briggs and Stratton?
Right.
I don't think so, guy.
You're out of here. You're out of here. Hit the road.
You guys are just disappearing
Yeah,
with
right.
their lawnmower. You know?
you see a cop with a handcuff on and the other one on the lawnmower walking it out.
You're in San
This is
Quentin.
coming with me.
Yeah. It's going to the impound.
Yep.
Third offense. You're in San Quentin doing 10 because he had a leaf blower. You know.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's like the guy playing catch out in the park during COVID.
Oh yeah.
Didn't he go to jail
Yeah.
for like 3 years
Well,
or
did
some
you-
shit?
Ridiculous.
I just watched the thing about another place that's getting pretty fucked up, London. Like England.
Oh, dude.
England's getting bad, dude.
They're gonna burn because
There's a bunch of
the-
people getting arrested right now for having opinion or putting stuff on social media, and they're coming to their house, literally kicking their door in and being like, "Hey, did you post this last month? Yeah. Oh, you're gonna have a rally? Well, you're arrested and you know $10,000 bond
Yeah.
or whatever." Like,
Well, they're
what
getting
the
sick
fuck?
of the Islams and the freaking
Yeah.
all the Palestinians marching through the streets and causing havoc
That's
and
the
all that
Gestapo.
bullshit. Well, that's like the whole conspiracy thing with those two attacks that had happened.
Oh, the
Yeah, and
the
then
Tesla one, and
then-
then
And then 15 minutes later,
yeah.
they were freaking marching in New York. You know, it's like, how about we just meet a wall of Americans with a wall of Palestinians and just say, turn the fuck around,
yep.
go back.
Well, here's the problem too.
Arm wrestling.
Exactly. Right.
Right?
Everybody just lines up.
Well, like the problem is that a lot of these marches and stuff, because like I have a completely different view on all the protests now. I think those need to have some sort of rules to them.
Yeah.
Once fucking the sun goes down, you're gone. Get the fuck out of the streets. You know what I mean? Like we stopped enforcing rules within peaceful protests like 4 years ago. We stopped everything. We were just like, have at it, do whatever you want, smash stuff, do whatever, and nobody got arrested.
Yeah.
We need to go back to having some type
Yeah,
of
let's
thing,
go
because
back to
majority of those
1968
people-
Chicago
Yeah,
breaking
right,
heads.
right,
You know?
right. Because majority of those Palestinian people, they're not. They're Americans.
Yeah.
They're here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they're talking about stuff that they would never be allowed to even talk about in Palestine.
And-
so, like,
And, you know, and I worked with a guy who's Palestinian who
Mm-hmm.
actually lived there for a little while and actually told me some shit about how the Jews treat them.
yeah.
You know, and it's kind of like, yeesh, you know, it's like, who do you want to defend now? You know, yeah, you can, you want to defend the Palestinians because they're being treated less than fucking like dogs
Yep.
over there. I mean, just to be honest with you.
Oh,
Just
no,
from
yeah.
the stories that he's telling me, they have to take a fucking shitty path to get through town because they have sections of where tourists and
Yep.
like and
Where
residents.
they can walk and they can't walk.
Yeah. And tourists and residents, you got the pristine streets, the nice groomed sidewalks, and everything else like that.
And they got to walk through goat shit.
They got to go through the fucking goat paths and,
Yeah.
you know, all that kind of crap. It's like, oof, you know? And then if they, heaven forbid, if they are Palestinian and they're not from that area and they walk down the tourist lane, they will get plucked and they will get beat and they will get tossed out of the town.
Yep.
It's like,
crazy.
Holy shit, dude.
No, it's not right at all. But
Disaster.
yet, it's also this weird thing that I was telling him about that, like, you, as a society, we cannot, never, ever say anything wrong about the Jewish people for some reason. Nothing anti-Semitic, nothing like that. The minute you start pointing, like, well, they do have something in, what's their Bible called?
It's the Bible.
Yeah, just a regular Bible. But in Judaism,
It's the Old Testament.
I forget the name of it, but like the name of people that aren't Jewish, they literally say in the Bible, it says they're less than human. So they have a mentality already.
Well, because
They're
they
up
they
here.
have the chosen people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like,
They screwed that up 2,000 years ago.
Yeah. Walking aimlessly through the desert. Where are we? my soles on my feet are good. My sugar. It's a little my sugar.
yeah, right.
Yeah, they screwed all that up.
But it's like, but the whole thing with the Gaza Strip and everything like that in Jerusalem right now is that the whole premise that is being mistaken and that escapes the Jews' minds is that they were put there by us.
Yeah.
And the British, you know, and the French and everybody that took over that place, that colonized that place. Like I said, us, the British, the French, they all colonized. And they're just like, okay, well, we had this atrocity. You guys are being looked at it with a side eye in Europe. Let's fricking just take you guys. Let's give you back the promised land, you know? And that's what happened. We gave it to them. And we displaced everybody else there that was living in peace. Let's mind you that.
Yep.
They were living in peace. Jews, Christians
together.
Islams.
Yep.
Everybody there was living in peace. And now that this happened, everything is fucked.
Yep.
You know, thank you. You know, and then they're going to sit there and, you know, pull this act like the whole world's against them when they're the ones pulling these atrocities sometimes. It's like, dude.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, why is it just the Holocaust? Like, and not saying, like, taking less than, but, like, is it because of the Holocaust they can never have any blowback about what they do?
Probably.
That's the only thing, because there's been other cultures and stuff that have gone through atrocities that we still turn around to this day and they're like, fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
I think there were more American Indians that were killed than Jews.
Right? With the genocide of America? Yeah. For us gringo white people to fucking come here and live prosperously because we're Saxon, we're fucking Christian Anglo-Saxon.
And now we're just like, no, just be quiet. You get your casinos and go have a drink.
Yeah, don't worry.
You know?
We'll gate you in your own property. That's yours. You know, don't worry about that. But just stay in there.
Right.
Just like,
it's just wild.
Dude, I don't get
The
it.
whole world is. It's a freaking mess. You know, I've been thinking about this lately, that the U.S. It started falling apart when they disassembled the mafia. The mafia used to hold down cities.
Yeah, but
No,
there's pros and cons to
them.
it, because if they don't like you, your whole
done.
area is going to shit.
Right, absolutely.
You know, I mean, but that's the thing, is that if it's going to be run, it's got to be run equally and you know, across the board, not just for one sexual, you know, sector race of freaking Italians or whatever, because they took care of the Bronx.
The Bronx, right.
You know, it was all prominently, you know, Italian.
But what was cool about the mob and these guys is that it was all money to them. So they had to go to the other side and be like, hey, who ran
The five
the
families
Jewish
up
guy,
there?
Meyer
Lansky was hanging out with an Italian guy. They started this big thing. They had to go through each other.
Yeah.
So there was networking that it didn't matter race or anything. Let's all make money together.
Right.
And that was somewhat keeping things calm within the city. Yeah, beefs between each rival and stuff, but like politically and shit, like you are kind of right. They all had a huge
place
hand
like in Chicago. Okay, you start getting protests and stuff in Chicago, and Chicago is mainly run by one outfit, and protests would not get out of hand. If they did, they had a reason. So, they were allowed.
See, I think I don't know if I ever told these guys, but I was, I'm surveyed Chicago up and down. I've been surveying for 25 years. And we surveyed a corridor up and down. It stretches all the way from the north side at Diversey all the way through, I think it's the Cicero corridor.
Okay, Cicero Avenue from Diversey down to 290 or something like that?
Yeah, like all the way through. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a freaking 10 or 13 mile stretch that we did. They wanted to put a monorail system in there. And there was some shady fucking areas in there. And
Yeah, west side.
I was protected. We had off-duty cops, protecting me going through some of these yards. And one of these dudes, big Italian dude, freaking, not fucking around. He's a TAC officer. He's one of those guys that stands there with the billy club and he's just like, go ahead and fucking touch me. I just want to fucking break your skull. That's just how the guy is. And I just remember we're sitting there, we're surveying this station. I think it was Vincennes and Halstead down at that fucking neighborhood, man. Not a very good neighborhood. And we were at a station where people were known to get plucked and robbed and all that kind of shit. Well, we're up top, and I'm doing my cross sections up there, and these guys walks over there. I don't want to say his name, but he walks over there, and he looks down, and we're elevated at this point, looking down on the street. I think Vincennes is here. Halstead comes across this way, and fucking there's a house right on this 5 Points corner, kind of. 2 guys go in, 3 guys triangulate the house, and I'm just sitting there looking at him like, oh, something's going down there. He's just like, yeah, it's all right. And they're sitting there down there doing their deal, and fucking the 3 guys that are around the house stop and just fucking peek eyes on the fucking dude up there with me. And I'm just like, better watch out, dude. They got their eyes on you. He's like, that's all right. He's got his piece right here in his pocket. He's like, I can hit him from here. and cops don't call black guys. They're not male, black, nothing.
Right.
They're usuals.
Usual suspects.
Just usuals.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, usuals. That was the first time I've ever heard it. I was laughing. I'm like, usual? What does that mean? He's like, he just looked at me straight in the fucking eye. He's like, where the fuck does a crime usually come from? And I was like, whoa.
Yep.
Somebody's jaded.
Oh, yeah. Those people need to be cycled out of that area for a while.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Something.
Yeah.
And it's funny because a comment like that, my daughter, she'll always, I'll say stuff and she'll say, I think you're prejudiced, Dad. Or I think you're a racist sometimes, Dad. Some of the comments you make are racist. And I'm like, there's a difference between that.
Pull that microphone in front of your face.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
I'd say there's a difference between being racist and having a prejudice. Prejudice comes from life lessons.
Yes.
So in the moving industry, I have to set up my own labor, and say I have a white guy, a black guy, and a Mexican guy coming to me and say, hey, we want the job with you. Odds are I'm gonna go with the Mexican guy because I know my history with them is hardworking, keeps to themselves,
Reliable.
gets the job
Do
done,
what they're
reliable,
told. Yeah.
on time, professional.
Yeah.
Leave. They may not speak good English, but they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they'll get it done.
Black guys usually smell like weed when they show up to the job site. Pants falling down. Baby's mama got to come pick them up. This is that.
You know what's funny about that is that I'd watch more black comedians nowadays, and they rag
The pants
on
thing.
the black pants
Pants,
thing.
yeah.
And they sit there and just like, don't you understand that you're portraying yourself as a bitch from prison?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it is.
You're
It's a symbol.
inviting
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
to fuck your ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why you're sagging. You freaking Fruit Loop.
Well, you know what's funny though? Like all the guys now, the comedians, because there's some rappers that are talking like that too now. They've all hit a certain age
yeah.
where their pants,
yeah,
their
everybody
pants
grows
grow up. No, seriously, because so now they're looking at these other dudes, and before it was like all these little guys wearing tight jeans and this and that because they used to wear the baggier ones. Now it's like, pull your fucking pants up,
Right.
young man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it is. It's an age thing. It's a growing up type thing too.
But I'm so glad to see the change happening. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Because we grew up when it was cool and fucking bad to fucking sag. You know what I mean? It's like,
sagging pants. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a skater kid. I always had bad.
I wore MC Hammer pants.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I was breakdancing. Had MC Hammer
Dude,
pants.
so
shit.
we're 10 years apart. So I got his
shit.
hand-me-downs, but his hand-me-downs were really fucking old. So I'm wearing like a Malcolm X hat.
Def Leppard.
Yeah,
bro.
in like 96. Like, it didn't hold the same weight.
No.
Like, I'm pretty sure at one point you had one of those African chains. Like,
Yeah, I had a Yo MTV Raps black leather jacket. Yeah, we took
When
a Bad
MTV
Boy
was
Bill.
MTV.
Yeah.
Still playing music. That was great.
No, but I think originally what you were saying about the mob with the politicians and stuff, it's like the same thing that they have going on right now with all the weird Epstein stuff and the Puffy stuff. It's that these mobsters handled stuff that governments couldn't without them.
No,
you know what I mean?
right.
They would be like, hey, you guys go to Guantanamo Bay and handle this. We'll throw you some money. You know what I mean? You guys go do.
Well, that's like the Bay of Pigs thing.
Yeah.
But after watching the JFK thing and actually trying to figure out who was after him and shit, because JFK denounced the freaking anything U.S. to be established in Cuba, so he took the casinos away from the mobs.
Right.
So the mobs were pissed because
And they backed him in the election.
Yes,
Sammy Giancana.
Because
right?
of his dad.
right.
And then he welched on it, and they were like, "This motherfucker's got to go."
Right, and then his dumbass, let's recruit some Colombians and send them back to fight.
And then they were like, "Oh well, JFK's like, don't worry, we're not gonna we're not gonna fuck with you." And then Bobby's like, "Yeah, we are." And then they're like, "Okay, now it's time."
Right, and then, but that whole conspiracy, we can go down the wormhole.
Yeah. Have they released?
No.
Nothing
yet.
Nothing yet.
I don't know what. They're as much as everybody's like, oh, Trump's gonna release the world and we're gonna find out everything that happened to anybody at any time. Dude, we ain't gonna find
like
that shit.
Elon's a hybrid of an alien.
Well, that's noticeable, bro.
Dude, I mean,
fucking noticeable.
I'm glad. I'm kind of glad that they're doing the budget thing, man. But dude, he's got to tame it down, man.
You know what? He came too aggressive. Well,
dude,
he came way too aggressive
out there
with the Doge thing.
swinging chainsaws.
Well, dude,
and fucking
it's
pumping his fucking.
But think
fists.
like
It's
what
come
me
on, man.
and him were talking about. It's like, and it's true, and it sounds fucking whatever, but you got a billionaire that's pissed off. You can have it. No, you can have it. You got a billionaire that's pissed off, and he's on the spectrum. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to act the way that we think he's going to act.
True.
I mean, it's noticeable.
What do
Dude
you think it
is
is?
not.
Asperger's or something?
Yeah, something like I don't know. But he's talked about
South
it.
Africans burgers.
No,
He comes from a country where, I mean, the white man kind of rules an area that.
It's a very fascist country.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about his Roman salute?
Was it a Roman
right when he
salute?
did that, I was like, "What are you doing, dude?
I saw it,
I
like,
don't give a shit what any other." And then they start having these memes come up, and they were like, "Look, Biden did it at this time,"
Yeah, like
and
a
none of
hand
them were
wave.
the same as what he did.
No, he might
Right.
have.
But that comes back full back circle to Pritzker and his fucking denouncing and basically stating that everybody that voted for Trump and his fucking regime here is a Nazi.
And I don't know where that generalization comes
I mean,
from.
don't you think that would discredit you worse than anything else?
Yes, that's why people shouldn't say shit.
Well,
like
by saying that, they're trying to bring in what is considered the minorities against the white race is what they're trying to do by saying, oh, they're all Nazis. But they don't ever say, oh, well, Trump actually had majority black votes. They don't ever talk about anything like that. Or most Mexicans are for the idea of sending all the immigrants back.
Yeah, because the people that are here legally know what kind of people were trying to come through.
Yep.
Because that's what they were leaving to come here to. They wanted to leave that bullshit in that country, which is why they're here. Because they want an education, they want a job, and they don't want to have to fucking go down the street and dodge bullets because you didn't join the cartel that day.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
You know what it is? And when people say like, or I'll hear, people say like, oh, America is the best, blah, 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 ever. It's not that we're the best. It's that we give opportunity.
Yes.
That's all it is. All these people that come over here, it's not like they're like, America's going to save my life. They're going to give me the opportunity so I can save my own life.
Right.
That's the only thing that we're
That's
doing.
it.
I don't know why people have such a hard time with that concept. That if you're coming in the wrong avenues with literally anything you do in life, you have to go through certain routes.
Yeah.
I can't walk through the back door of a bank. I have to go through the fucking front door.
Right.
It's locked. There's a guard there. Like
I can't just walk behind the counter and be like, hey,
Exactly.
hey, let me check out this vault.
Well, not to. Okay, so anyone from Central and South America that want to come into the United States, right? They just try and walk up, swim across the river, whatever, sneak in, right? But anyone from Europe or any other continent has to go through the proper channels, or they got to go in through South America or come down through
But
Canada.
even the people that are serious about becoming U.S. citizens, they come here with work visas,
Right,
with the
right.
intention of becoming
Student
a citizen.
visas, whatever. Yeah.
So their intentions are already starting in the right direction as they've already applied for the visa.
Mm-hmm.
They're applying for the citizenship, and then they have to go through the bullshit of the testing and all that kind of crap, and then they have to pass that. That's their route in, unless they come in and they join the military. That's the shortcut route.
Yeah,
That's what people are doing, and they're
Yeah.
starting to
And that's
figure
pretty
that out.
crazy too.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
It's
'cause
scary.
I know there's obviously, because my son just went into the military a year and a half ago, that there's a vetting process, but it's not that great. I mean,
No.
no. I mean, you could just come in and join.
I mean, if you have the wrong last name, you'll be put on a suspicion list and you'll be
Right.
watched, and you'll probably be recommended for a certain job like translator or anything like that, where they don't want to give you too much intelligence, or they're going to act like they're going to give you intelligence, but they're going to pull the reins back.
Right.
Because they're testing them.
to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they let them in, but they're being watched. I mean, don't think that they're just fucking coming in all willy nilly and be like, yeah, we're gonna train you up and fucking do all that. They still have to walk on eggshells,
Yeah.
and look in freaking certain mirrors to figure out which way is which, so they don't get fucked.
You know what's crazy though? So I stumbled across this one video because I was looking up all the deportation stuff because my buddy that I work with, he
Is concerned.
no, he's actually not.
It's good knowing you, Jose.
No, he's actually not. He's a super cool guy. He's in his 60s. He's, whatever, hard
Oh,
worker.
yeah, you
He
told me
was
about
30,
it. Yeah.
30 years in construction. He got a job with us because he just wants to get out of the house. He's bored, whatever.
Yeah.
And his family came from Mexico. They went to Texas for a while, like right when they got there. The whole time they were in Texas, the year that they were there or whatever, paperwork, filling out tests, doing all their stuff correctly.
Yeah.
All of them are citizens,
Yeah.
right? He's looking at these people that are, even the protesters, he's like, you guys are fucking idiots. All the people that are out here doing this stuff, it's because you're scared because you know you did something wrong.
Right.
That's it.
And you're trying to get a voice
Yeah.
to back you so that way they can try to look the other
And
way.
as of right now, they can find 1,000 voices
Yeah.
because everybody wants to stir shit up.
Oh, dude.
That's what these protests are. They're not genuine.
No.
I really don't, because the same, like I told you the one day, I saw a protest and it was a deportation protest. So all these Mexican flags, which that doesn't make sense,
Right.
because you want to be in this country, but you got
Flying the Mexican
it's
flag.
the wrong flag.
Right. Yeah.
So that, which I'm already like, that's dumb. But then it's a Ukrainian flag, Palestinian flag, fucking abortion signs,
Yeah.
this and that, and it's like, wait a minute, you guys are just doing shit to fucking.
It's like, hey, who's off on Tuesday?
yeah, basically.
What's your thing? Come on, bring
Yeah.
it sign.
Dude, that meme, I saw a meme where if you import third world, you become third world.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
If you don't vet it properly, it's going to just turn to shit.
But what I was gonna say, so I came across this video, and I was looking up all these different protests about the deportation stuff, whatever, and it was a deportation video from Mexico for Guatemalans. I didn't know this was a thing. Mexicans do not let Guatemalans in the country into Mexico.
No.
They had like how we deport people. They find Guatemalans and say, get the fuck out right when they get in. They do it nonstop. They do not want them in their country. So
I didn't know that.
yeah, you could look it up. It's fucking crazy. I was watching it. I was like, dude, I never knew this. Like, because we think in our heads because it's just beat into the
I
American
thought Guatemala was just another state of Mexico.
No,
No.
it's a country in Central America.
Yeah,
so
no,
they're
see,
traveling
I feel
thousands of
ignorant I am.
miles just to get to Mexico.
And dude, they got protests and they're saying some pretty racist stuff, and they got signs saying like go back to your land, we don't want you, like real stuff. And it's like, wait a minute, how come we're the only ones? Like the American mindset, it's beaten into our heads that we're bad for doing that.
Yeah.
But every fucking country
You can't
does
go
it.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Dude, us as American citizens, we can't just cross the border into Canada like, hey, we're here.
Bro, we can't even get into
They'd be like,
California.
dude, what
They'll
do you
take
got
all
in
my
your
fucking
pockets?
oranges.
You know? Yeah.
You go to California and they're like, let me see
Oh,
your,
they have their agricultural
let me see your
checkpoint.
grapes, throw away your apples.
What is that, an apple?
No fucking kiwi, no fucking Chicago
Come
kiwis.
here, let me talk to you for a minute.
Yeah, but like, I found that fascinating. I was talking about it for like 2 days. I was like, because nobody really knows either that like other countries do this all the time.
Yeah, well, you can watch X and freaking watch London right now.
Oh yeah,
All the citizens in London are
It's
pissed.
wild,
It's
dude.
it's like the Wild West out
Yeah.
there. They're fighting everybody.
Ireland's
Yeah.
getting pretty bad too.
Yeah.
And they're doing this censorship thing has not let up since COVID.
No.
Now it's like instead of it being the misinformation of COVID, now it's misinformation about politics.
The whole world is a boiling pot right now.
Oh, dude.
I think it's been boiling over for
It's
a while.
bubbling. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
We're about
boiling
to
over.
boil over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what's gonna push it. Because did you hear the Zelensky threat? With him and his fucking I just watched it today, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! That was a threat, man."
What do you say?
He was sitting there saying that you guys live over here, and you guys are split by this nice big sea, so you don't see or affected by the effects of what's going on in the tyranny of Europe. He's like, "But don't worry, you will."
I did
Yes.
see that, yeah.
And I was like, "What?"
And I think because like if you noticed, there was a little bit of pushback between Vance and what's his name. They were kind of going, but it wasn't as bad. After he said that, that's when everybody was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!
Yeah,
You better
'cause
fucking apologize."
That's when
buddy.
Trump was like, "You don't know that."
Yeah, don't tell us what we
Yeah.
know.
And I
Don't
was
tell.
like,
Yeah,
Ooh, I was like,
That's
"That
a
was
pretty
a
harsh comment.
That was a threat."
Yeah.
yeah.
That was like basically saying like, "Hey, we've been funding something else behind your back."
Right. There's other shit happening right now.
That
In your
350
borders.
billion that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gave us, yeah, those are going to be the guys that fuck you.
Yeah, that was weird. That was very strange. That whole interaction, that whole thing, it was awkward even watching it. I was
Right.
like, this should be behind closed doors. I don't know,
Yeah,
man. Like,
Exactly. That should be in the Oval Office.
but you know what? I'm kind of digging that Trump
open
is
about it.
staying pretty much in the front of everything. Like any cameras that are on, he's saying something. I just read a thing that said something like in the first month or the first year, I forget what it is, of Obama's presidency, he answered 160 questions from the press or whatever. Biden answered in the first month or whatever.
3?
He answered like 140 or something, and he's already at like 300 or something. Like, but that's what people keep saying they want, right? Transparency. I want to know what's going on step by step. Like,
And
all right.
Stephen A. Smith said that on the Bill Maher show.
Yeah.
And Stephen A. Smith is a Democrat. And he straight up said it's like the Democrats shot themselves in the foot because you guys will say one thing and do another.
Yep.
You guys have not been true to your word and not anything to what you say that you're going to do for the people. You've actually been taking from the people and sending our money elsewhere and not helping out anything
Exactly.
here.
Nothing
but yet
here.
here we got
Nothing
Trump
here.
coming in saying that he's going to do this, going to do this, going to do this, going to do this, and he's doing it. And he's like, show me what else you fucking got, because I'm going to fix your bullshit.
Yep.
And he's doing it.
Yep.
You know,
He's playing the card that I think we need right now, instead of the president that's protecting himself and like telling all these lies and then kind of going off in the shadows and not doing anything. He's literally standing there like, nope, we're gonna find it out. We're doing it right now. Send him out there.
Yep.
And he's doing the things that he's talking
well,
about.
that's like when he just straight up told Zelensky, he's like, listen, you're not winning this.
Yeah.
You don't have the backing. Your backing is us.
Yeah.
The moment we cut ties with you, you're
You're done.
fucked, son.
You're done. Yep.
And that's,
Russia's waiting for that.
Yeah.
and that's why Zelensky didn't have too much to say after that, because we're fucking right.
Yeah.
Like,
Because he's on America's TV.
Yep.
What are you doing with our money? And he doesn't have a good answer.
Well, in the beginning, he said he didn't even receive all of it. And we have documentation saying, yeah, you fucking did.
Yeah, you did.
So where is it? Because you guys aren't doing any better out there. So what the fuck's happening?
Smoke screens, man.
Yep.
That's what it is. Everything's a smoke screen.
Oh, and it's been a smoke screen. Like I said in our text, like I've been looking at ancient human history and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, we've hit the reset button a few times.
Oh, yeah.
Like this isn't the first time we've came to this technology. It was different, but like all these like structures that were built back in the day, like
See, it's different now because we have the capabilities of basically frying this planet
yeah,
to where it's only going to be inhabitable in certain spots.
yeah.
That's the problem. And that's what's scary about it, because now we're at the whim of these fucking politicians that don't do shit, that have their own agenda, that are only looking out for themselves, not for the people.
Well, I think nowadays too, we have, because of social media,
Garbage.
and well, it is, but it's still an outlet. You could watch your videos on
yeah.
YouTube. We didn't have that kind of knowledge about what was going on in the government back in the 80s.
Ever.
Because
Right.
back in the
Prior to
80s, we
2000,
back in the 80s,
basically.
we didn't have a reason to doubt the news that we were getting, though.
Right, 'cause
Because
the
it was
news was
like
news.
it was live, and
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
watching it fucking happen.
News
you
was
know what I
news
mean?
back then.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's just
Now it's opinion based.
right.
Yeah.
It's all B-roll and fucking shit that they want to show people, and then with their own little narrative shit.
Yep.
You know, that's all it is. Because that's going to fucking media school and seeing how they do shit, dude. Everything is fucking manipulated the way that you want it to freaking do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
I bet.
I can freaking take this and chop this up and make it look like you guys are the biggest fucking assholes on the planet.
Yeah.
You know what I
You
mean?
don't have to chop too much. But
Very little editing.
No editing done.
Right. But that's the thing, is that people I just wish that people could fucking just be normal. You know what I mean? Just
See,
fucking,
but
it's like where did this
5 years ago, normalcy was out the fucking window.
but
When COVID came,
I think normalcy was out before that. Honestly, we just weren't
the COVID
grasping the
was
idea
just
yet.
the finger pushing it
Yeah,
over the
yeah,
ledge.
exactly.
absolutely.
know.
Exactly.
But like a lot of this stuff, like like why I was bringing up the human, that we've done this shit before, because we've done this shit before. Like a lot of prior stuff to World War II that was happening in Germany, a lot of it's happening here right now.
It's a circle
With
of
not
life.
saying that it's on the same level, but all the trans stuff that was going on. There was a huge trans movement in Germany right before the war.
Yeah.
Those books that they were burning were trans books.
Well, they were Jewish books also.
Yeah.
No, they were Jewish books, but the trans books were written by Jewish authors.
Yeah. They were very progressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And very progressive and very sexual and deviant, some would say, in a society at the time that didn't do that stuff. It's almost like opposing our will on, like, me and my mom, we talked about this before. She was like, well, in like the Middle East, they don't have anything and they're under a dictatorship and blah, blah, blah. I was like, but at the same time, even if you took that dictator out and you put the best guy in the world, they're not there yet like we are. They haven't hit those milestones to get out of where they're at. They're just not there yet. So for us to impose our will and come in and be like, you're going to have a Starbucks, you're going to be this and that, they are pushed back to all that. They're like, no, I don't want to do this shit. I don't want to.
They have their own life that they're figuring
exactly.
out.
The women, when they told the Taliban, they were telling the women, like, or the soldiers were saying, you could take off your, what is it called?
burqa?
Yeah, you could take it off. And they're like,
No.
I'm good. They're
They
not
get
ready
because they get
yet.
flogged if they do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that our
They have the
biggest,
fear already built in them.
our biggest
Generations.
mistake in the Middle East was actually taking Saddam out of power.
I agree.
He held down that region with, even though
Yeah, but
even though he was violent and
it was the
sadistic,
less of two evils.
it was.
He was the one that was keeping all the
shit under
terrorists
control.
at bay from that area.
And he didn't like Iran.
Yeah.
Right.
So he kind of kept Iran busy, that way we didn't have to fuck with them. Now it's
Now we got right, exactly.
Oh, he should have absolutely been dealt with and handled, but we should have utilized him longer.
We utilized him.
You know
for
what I mean?
30
Like-
years, man.
Yeah, but I mean,
We built him to what he was.
Definitely get rid of his sons because his sons
Oh yeah, his sons were fucking.
Well, yeah,
nuts.
there's whatever happens when a kid takes over a company.
Yeah.
They get
Literally,
crazy, yeah.
throughout history, that's the same thing. It's Marcus Aurelius. His son comes around and destroys everything and kills his dad. Like,
yeah,
no, it's
smothers
always
him up.
yeah, it's always the son, the privileged that's never gone through struggle that does the most. Yeah,
I hated that. I don't know. Like we went through this last time. I can't stand Joaquin Phoenix. God, I can't stand it. Every role that he plays, he's a sniveling, whiny little bitch, and I can't stand
he's
it.
probably like that in real life.
I mean, just like the Joker roles, man. He's just a whiny fucking little just brat.
Yeah.
What was the one where he was
The nightclub
owner? Yeah,
with Mark
That's-
Wahlberg.
that's the only one I can think of where he's not a whiny bitch.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that one. That was a good one too.
Well, I think he was also like the grease ball. I think, what was it? No, it wasn't Deuces Wild. What was it? I know he played a gangster, and it just didn't suit him.
He was kind of like a club owning gangster in that one that you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Charlize Theron and Marky Wahlberg.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
that's
one
the
we're
one.
talking
Yeah,
about.
that's what we're talking
yeah,
about.
And
yeah.
he plays like a gangster
Yeah,
type.
he's the gangster
he's a club
son.
owner,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's the gangster son that fucked somebody over, and then
No,
he had to
he's-
kill out the witnesses.
His
or whatever.
dad is the cop. His
Yeah.
dad and
That's
his
it,
brother are
that's
cops, and he's his like he
There was
raised
another
with
one
this
where he
gangster.
played like a. Oh no, that wasn't him.
But
No. Okay,
I just,
Not-
Yeah.
ever since even in Parenthood,
Oh yeah, he was a little shit.
little shitbag and that little bastard just.
Last night I got some tattoos. That's why I'm airing them out. My hands are a little
Nice.
sore today.
Nice.
But the guy that did them, huge Joker fan. Like
Yeah.
all over his room, like Joker pictures. Like
Nice.
love Joker. And we were talking about the last one that walked. He's like,
Garbage.
what a depressing. I mean, what a piece of shit film.
Dude,
Well, I told him last time. I'm like, dude, I can't watch a fucking dude feeding his mom for 2 hours pudding. Just like, come on, just
Yeah, no.
Well, the last one, like, what did he have a dream of doing?
It's the artsy shit that once these actors and directors get into their, well, it's a metaphor for life and blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody else knows what
Right.
the fuck you're trying
Like-
to do.
Like the Jay Leto depiction of he's just a lost soul.
No.
It's just no, dude.
His
He
brother-
wants to
his
burn the
brother
fucking
would've
world
been
down.
A badass.
Yeah. River
His brother
Phoenix
would have been a
was good
badass
actor.
if he would.
River Phoenix, yeah, if he
Yeah.
didn't die,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know, dude. The whole world. There's so many. Again, I've talked to you several times about this, about the going down the rabbit holes. There's too many fucking holes, bro. There's. I'm starting to realize that, in not just our country, because I hate it when people are like, America's based on lies. Every fucking thing is, dude. And the only reason we're digging in the way we are now is because of our phones.
Yeah.
Because of the access we have. Because back in the day, even though it was live right in front of you, that was what we were getting. What
mean-
part of that live thing did
if you
we
think-
actually get to see, though?
And
know
if
what
you
I'm
think
saying?
it's so great, go to Malaysia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, have fun.
They got the fucking Kill
Yeah.
Squad motorcycle guys that even if they even presume you to be stoned or of any kind, high.
That's fucked up. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
You want to start a movement? Turn off cell phones.
Dude.
The whole everybody
love it.
would band together. There would be no.
How about let's just go back to the rotary phone
Yep.
Yeah.
and then just computers. That's it.
Yep.
No cell phones. No.
A little
We could go back to the beepers.
a little Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Carmen San Diego.
Well, you know what it's like. I'm starting to not carry my cell phone everywhere I go. If I go to the store or something, I'm going to be
Right.
gone out of the house for a couple hours. I'll leave the cell phone at the house. And one day I did that, and my mom was texting me, and she's like, finally I answered her like 3-4 hours. Yeah, where have you been?
I thought you were dead.
I was like, Mom, half of my life you didn't know where I was. Now all of a sudden you gotta.
Yeah, right.
I got a cell phone. You gotta track my movements. You're a little creepy.
No, you know what? And to be honest, if somebody put out a worldwide, on this day we're keeping our phones locked up and we're doing it for
Turn
X
your
amount
phones
of
off for a
it would
day,
last
yeah.
10 fucking seconds before somebody picked that bitch up and started looking at
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
It
No, it wouldn't even start.
No, it wouldn't. Everybody would be like, I'm doing it now.
I got it on airplane mode. Does that count?
This is so boring. When does it start? Put the fucking phone down. No, but seriously, I don't think I think as of right now, we are technically cyborgs. Because this is an appendage.
We've
at
been
this point.
mindful.
Oh yeah.
This has everything.
That's why I laugh. I mean, like you said, I make it a habit to put it in like a pocket and not even fucking touch it.
Yeah.
I don't even care.
Right.
You know, if somebody calls, sure, I'll answer it, but I'm not gonna fucking sit there and be like, "What's on Facebook? Somebody posted something 2
Right,
seconds
right.
ago."
Yep.
You know, it's just like, no.
Well,
I don't care what you eat.
Even with our text, I was in the middle of a workout and I have my phone, it's playing music, but I'm doing my thing. Like, so I got back to it and I was like, oh shit. It's like,
The days of not knowing who's calling.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
Right?
should we answer it? I don't know. Screw it. Let's find out who it is.
Or-
you know?
Or like when
Or-
somebody comes to the door, you know?
or
Yeah.
going through
Now you can look.
or going
Who's
through
that?
different
Yeah.
people. Going through different people. Because who was the first person that picked up the phone if they called you?
Right.
Mom or dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's upstairs. Why? What do you guys got going on tonight?
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. You know, he's
Not
intercepting
much.
it.
You're not much.
Yeah.
you gotta,
But, like,
you gotta
don't-
play the dodge.
You don't
move,
have
know?
that anymore. My daughter's got a phone now, and I'm like, who are you on the phone with? I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like before, no, somebody pretty much gave the okay that you could speak to that person.
Yeah.
It's a second world, is what it is. You know?
Well, have you heard about that? Like the parallel worlds.
Oh, yeah.
That what is it? The collider. The something hydrogen.
you
collider,
talking about like
that? Once they turned it on, the worlds shifted, and that's where we get the Mandela effect. That
The
people
butterfly effect?
Mandela effect.
where people are all about all the glitches in life,
Yeah.
where like there's a lady just standing there for like 3 hours without moving.
No, like
Yeah.
like if you go like people always say like Luke, I am your father. That's
Yeah.
not what he really says. It's just built into our brains.
Right.
That's what it is, and that's not the real words.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or like some people say, and it's 85, 1985, and it's before 1985. Like 1985 is the last year that you could be a part of this or
Why
something.
do they call it the Mandela effect? Wasn't he like a black like?
No, I'll tell you right now,
He's
because
enslaved for
back in the day, this is
injustice.
who did it. There was a lady that she witnessed Nelson Mandela, and they said that he died in prison.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Okay,
That never happened.
right.
He survived, and she was like, why do I
Yeah.
remember it being on the news and having like a march for Nelson Mandela? He was dead. How is he still like? And then she like told this to people, and like thousands of people in her age group are like, I remember that.
It's funny
And
too
it is
because the
certain
Mandela
things you do
effect is
remember.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is. It's nuts. Because I've seen things where you're like, no, that is how it was.
Yeah.
And then you see proof, and you're like, why did I
It's
think
because
that?
you're from.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
because you're from the old timeline before the thing turned on.
before
the thing turned on.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
but that's what it is. It's from the something collider that they said that it turned on and it separated our timelines, and people from this certain time remember things differently, and it absolutely is true. Because like we were talking the one day, and this kid was like, he said something about Curious George, and I was like, yeah, dude, I know Curious George, and he
little
was
monkey
like,
with the
yeah.
guy with that.
And he was
Yeah.
like,
Banana
yeah.
Joe.
He was like, you know, didn't have a tail, or I was like, he had a tail. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Like, yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
And then I asked all my friends. They all thought he had a tail.
He
Yeah,
didn't.
they all
No.
thought he had a tail. He doesn't.
No.
I'm like, but this is a weird. Why do we have a collective? But like, why is there a collective thought?
Like a whole group thinks one
like
way.
thousands of people.
Well, things have
Why
changed.
is that?
Things do change because they want to freaking put things in, like,
They want to erase
perfect
shit.
image.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to make it the perfect image
Right.
for people, so
And-
that way they don't think things are
Yep.
different in any which way.
And
You know.
and Hollywood does it on the sly and makes you feel like you're crazy, because I remember I was watching Lilo and Stitch and with my kids, and there was this one scene where she's hiding in the washer and dryer. Well, I'm watching it, and it's a washing machine, and right next to it where the dryer was is now a toy box that says pizza on the front. I'm like, the fuck is this? And she's hiding in the toy box. I'm like, I don't remember this at all. She was hiding in the fucking thing.
Well, no, because there was
Come
blowback for
switch
kids.
She sure enough, years prior to that, they recalled the movie, put out a different one. But if they never said anything, that makes people feel like they're nuts. They're like, I remember this. A completely different, or the Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of the Loom. That's the one I was thinking of with the cornucopia.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
And they say that it was never a thing.
there was the cornucopia never existed on the Fruit of the Loom.
Yeah, it was. They were
Image.
pouring. That was the whole.
That's how I
it was
remember
getting
it, too.
poured out of
Grapes
it.
and the
Yeah.
But they
apple,
say
yeah.
no, it never existed. It was never part
So-
of
so
Fruit of
this
the
one
Loom's
lady-
marketing strategy.
So this one lady, she went fucking nuts because of this. She was like, I remember it. She was like, when I was growing up, my family only bought Fruit of the Loom shirts or whatever. And she was going on and on and on. And she was like, no, I remember this. Dude, a year later, this chick goes to her mom's house up in the attic going through stuff and finds the shirts with the cornucopia and comes out and says it. And Fruit of the Loom comes out and says, nope, those are fake.
Yep.
They will not. But like, what is the
Even though
why?
it says CC
Yeah.
fucking 1968.
Yeah, like why? What would be
Or
the
Ed McMahon was never employed by Publishers
Oh, yeah.
Clearinghouse.
What?
Even though everybody remembers it, if you win Publishers Clearinghouse, Ed McMahon's going to come to your house with a check.
Hey!
Never.
Yeah.
Nope.
He was never employed by them. He never did any marketing for them.
Bullshit.
yeah? The
Dude,
same-
my mom has videotapes from the freaking whatever of soap operas, and she would
Oh, yeah.
she would sit there and like set her video recorder, and
Right.
tape
Yeah,
the
yeah,
shit
yeah.
right
Like
there.
Days of Our Lives.
Oh,
and shit.
dude,
Yeah, yeah,
General
yeah.
Hospital
Yeah.
was her number one because I
Nice.
got my middle name is because of Alan Quartermain. You know, because I had the birthmark right there. You know, I got the Quartermain birthmark. But
Nice.
fucking yeah, dude, my mom. I remember those commercials because it would be Ed
Yeah.
McMahon with his fucking jacket and his glasses
Yep.
and his microphone. He'd ring the doorbell and his crony would come up and be like, "You won Publishers
Right.
Clearinghouse for $10 million." You know, and just like, oh,
But yeah, you can go online and they'll say, nope, Ed McMahon never worked for them.
And like the same thing, like with the Mandela effect, when we were, because me and my friends got hooked to this for a while, so we were talking about different things, and like the Monopoly guy,
yeah,
monocle,
Monocle
or
no monocle?
monocle. Yeah.
No monocle.
No monocle.
So here, that's what I
doesn't
thought
have-
too. No.
Nope.
So now here's my thoughts, and I've heard it on other things too, but this is my own personal
For
opinion.
people who don't know what a monocle is, it's a one-eyed lens that they stick in there.
Yeah. But like,
Only us billionaires really recognize those, you know.
Arsene.
but what I kind of think it is an accumulation of things that come out around the same time. So you got
Yeah, I
a
see
Monopoly
that.
commercial, and right after that you have a Peanuts commercial, or Planters Nuts commercial
He had the monocle.
with the monocle.
And you put
so
the two
you
together
kinda
In your brain.
overcross them, and then
Yeah.
in your head you just assume, oh yeah, he had a monocle.
That makes sense.
You
that
know what I
makes
mean?
sense.
Because especially
But it tricks a whole.
a huge amount of people.
Yeah.
Huge. It's very. It is like once you go down that
I
hole,
love
you're
the
like, holy
idea of
shit.
the Mandela effect. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's wild, dude. It goes back to what I was saying before about like hallucinogenics and stuff like that, and DMT, and like, why are we seeing the same visions? Like, why does everybody have that same collective of Nelson Mandela? Why is it if he
'Cause
takes
that's how Elon wants
ayahuasca,
it.
if he takes ayahuasca, I take ayahuasca, you take ayahuasca, we're all having our own individual trip, but for some reason when we come back from it, all the creatures I saw are the same descriptions of him and same descriptions of you. That's weird. We should not have the same shit in your mind.
If you're tripping together
No.
or
right,
separately,
so-
I don't know.
and then
I
you have the
never-
same.
So if you look it up, there has been numerous studies, and it's not just ayahuasca, it's DMT, it's acid, it's a bunch of different stuff.
I mean,
but
3
like,
years of my life was dedicated to acid, man.
thank you for that, by the way. Your studies is what keeps me going.
That's right, and I'm still here breathing, you know.
And I'm still studying.
Wait a minute, what was that?
No, but a lot of people like they did this one study. I think it was like in Harvard or some shit, where all these dudes took, and the thing at the time was ayahuasca, and they were in different rooms, like isolated rooms, and they had their experience. They come out and they start talking, and it's
The same trip.
the same trip, not the same trip, the same entities, whatever beings. That like, because they'll ask them specifically, they'll be like, so did you see any type of humanoids or people, or what did you see? And the guy described it. And
They're
he's
alien
like,
like.
he's like, he had a distorted face. He was very nice to me, very welcoming, tall, this and that. And then go to the next thing that's an hour later, the guy comes out of his thing. What did it look like? He was tall. His face was a little weird, but why are we having the same things?
Well, that's like the whole ancient aliens thing too. Like
Yep.
the whole depictions of everything from all the hieroglyphics from the Native Americans and the freaking old
Egyptians, Vikings, all that
Everyone-
stuff has
yeah, from-
similar things.
and the people from Peru. Who were they?
The
Aztecs? Yeah.
the Mayans and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So do you think that has to do them with ancestral like memory?
Oh yeah. I think
So
what-
like our great grandfathers'
what we're
memories
seeing-
of weirdos flying in from outer space.
I
it
think
goes
what
into
we're
our-
seeing when we're under that thing is our collective consciousness. I think we're in the same thing. Like we'll do it literally for a minute. Take the stuff. He takes the stuff. There's a doorway. We open the door. We're going to the same place. He's having his own adventure and dealing with whatever's in his mind, but we're in the same realm. So we're seeing similar things because I think we crossed over into the actual
into the
You see,
twilight
Here's a
zone.
perfect
Yeah, I
example.
know.
Here's a perfect example of that type. What the fuck? Here's a perfect example of that. Is that back in the day when I did a lot of acid, and I had a particular group of
Blue
friends.
bladders?
Just no. Everything from flying pyramids to purple Felixes, Felix the cats, or whatever the fuck they want to call them. But we would watch Alice in Wonderland. Okay, if you want to really have an experience, have each person take something and be in the same room and watch Alice in Wonderland, the original, not this freaking, hashed over shit.
Yeah.
You will all watch something different.
Yeah. Different movie, essentially.
Because when I watched The Trippin', it wasn't anything like I remember watching it when I was a kid or when
Right.
I was sober.
It was way better when I was younger. It's just scary now.
It's so weird.
Odd.
It makes you, dude. It's like, because you're like, fuck, holy fuck,
Yeah.
holy shit. It'll make the room go black. It'll make everything seem small. It fucks with your head.
Yep.
And,
Oh yeah, I've had bad trips.
I mean, it's not even a bad trip. You're just kind of like,
Yeah, I guess there's no such thing
Well,
really
'cause-
as a bad trip. And you just have to
there's a bad
accept.
trip.
You just have to accept what the trip is.
Yeah.
well, see, I had a bad trip.
Were you just
And-
freaked out because
No.
of anxiety and nerves, or?
Yes, because my brother.
Oh.
Okay, this is a great story. It's a great story because the night ended off in a fight, and the guy ended up getting his ass kicked. It was cool, but fucking, I was like 16, and my brother was 19, something like that. He was in UTI. You know what I mean? So nothing but party animal mechanics, and just that's what was going on. And they had, what was it? Like Felix the Cats. It was really good acid, man. I was flying on like 2 fucking hits. And started early. Party was going real nice. I was having a great time and everything. All of a sudden my brother comes in. And he sits down.
And then you feel like a giant. You're like,
No, actually, because he sits where you're sitting, like
so
basically
he
at a
was
table.
like you felt judged.
Well, when he comes in and he sits down and he does one of these.
And just stares.
Yeah. And I just kind of like,
What are you doing, man?
yeah, I was like, he's like, yeah, you know, everything would have been great. If somebody fucking remembered to get rid of the goddamn 12-pack of fucking beer for his fucking friends. And he just started unleashing on me because my mom found shit and she found his weed. So she fucking took that. She flushed that. So he's all pissed off, you know? And fucking he's just unleashing everything on me, man. And fucking his buddy Vance is like, hey, fuck. He's like, and my brother just looks at me. He just fucking snaps. He's like, how many fucking hits you on? And I'm like, 2. And I just sat back. You know, and we're in an apartment, all right? And pretty much if this was the kitchen, the living room would be out here.
Right.
Okay? And I just stood up from the dining room table, you know? And I just kind of like, fuck. I just fucked up. You know, then I get that cycle going on in my head.
Yeah.
So I go to the couch and just sit down. And I sit there and I watch the dining room. It's the only place that has a light on in the entire apartment. And it's this big to start. And then I sit there and watch it. And it just... And it's like this big off in the distance. And I'm just sitting there in the darkness, you know. And I was just like, fuck, you know. And all of a sudden, my brother actually got me out of it, too. Because he came over and started talking. And he was like, hey.
Snap out of it.
Yeah, he's like,
snap out of it.
He's like, I'd rather it be me, you know, doing the whole big brother thing. It's just like, I'd rather be me than you. And this,
I remember the first time I ever tripped on acid. I took three blotters. And I was out with my buddies. And back then, we didn't have cell phones. We had pagers. And my mom paged me, right? And she's like, so we go to, we had just dropped them. And we go to a payphone. I call my mom. And she's like, me and your father got to go out. You got to come home and watch the kids. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, no.
And my buddy's like, hey, we'll take you home. So they drive me home. They drop me off. And I walked downstairs and it just started kicking in. And he was like, he was probably like 4.
Yeah.
And he looked blue like an alien. And my sisters are sitting there and I'm cracking up. And they're like, why are you laughing so hard? I was like, because Brandon looks like an alien. Look at him. He looks funny. And I went upstairs to my room and then I got a page from my buddy who dropped me off. And he was like, hey, bro, I'm coming back. I can't let you go through this by yourself because I am tripping balls, dude. And I can't allow you to do this by yourself for your first time. So he came back, and we stayed in my bedroom all night long. Yeah. And I remember my parents came home, and they called me, and I walked out. I was at the top of the stairs, and they were coming up the stairs, and they looked like these little midgets, right? And they were like, how's everything going, you know? And I'm like, it's cool in the song. My mind's playing tricks on me by the it kept playing all night long, man. My mind's playing tricks on me, and the Michael Jordan posters were moving, and Michael was dunking, and like 3:00 in the morning, my buddy, he's like, dude, you hear that? And I'm like, hear what? He's like, there's someone outside yelling for help. So we opened my window, and he jumped out the window, and I ran downstairs, went out the front back door, and my mom heard us. So she got up, comes outside. She's like, what are you guys doing outside? And we're like, there's someone yelling for help out here. We got to find her. My mom's like, oh, my gosh, should I call the police? We're like, no, we'll find her. And then we're like, maybe we just heard it. Dude, that was crazy night, yeah.
Yeah, nothing normal ever happens on a trip.
No, but you gain a perspective, I think. You know, like,
huge.
Your mind.
You can read people. I mean, I found like body language like speaks louder to me than ever before. You know what I mean? Because I didn't really give a shit or even put a thought into, you know, what people actually think by their facial expressions.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I learned that tripping playing dominoes.
You can read people,
dude. I knew, and the kid that was across from me, Dwight, he was tripping too, and he knew.
Like you were talking to each other.
I was like, I caught on, and he saw the light bulb in my eyes, just kind of like, oh, he knows what the fuck's going on. And I'm just like, I know what he's got, I know what he's got, and I know what he's got. So I'm gonna throw this. They can't do shit. Oh, I'm gonna throw this. Oh, blocked. Oh, Oh, I'm sorry. Bones, motherfucker. You know, just like domino, bitches. You know, that's what we
Wonder
were
if
doing.
that would work in poker.
Oh, dude, I would love to sit there and play poker on acid, man, because you would figure shit out so fast.
Well, do you know what a big thing is right now? We talked about it before. Them taking psychedelics for jujitsu. A lot of these jujitsu guys,
Really?
Well, they got a
rolling
league for
around.
stoners,
Yeah.
because it's called Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
So
Really?
yeah, it's jujitsu and fucking. I would
Mind
love
blowing.
to. You know, I was like, oh, I mean, I've been out of the game. I got to get back into it. I mean, I trained for it for 7 years, and then it's been fucking 10 years since I've done anything. You know what I mean? So I'm a little out of fucking key of what the hell's fresh.
So
and new.
why a league for stoners?
Because it puts you in a
Different mindset.
It puts you in a relaxive mindset, especially with your body, because you're in positions and poses that you got to get out
Well,
of.
then
Yeah.
drunk MMA should be a thing,
Well,
right? I mean,
right. Well, that was
Russia will get it.
Yeah, that was what's his name, Chuck Liddell.
yeah, drunk MMA. Yeah.
Wasted just going in there.
Yeah.
But I think like the psychedelics for like MMA and like jujitsu is because it helps you unlock some shit in your head. You think differently. You see stuff differently.
Yeah.
Like, so like when somebody's going to do a move on you and you're already like,
See,
you're
that's
like
interesting.
starting it going and you're like, all right, here it comes.
See, that's an
You're-
interesting aspect of it, because the whole thing with jujitsu and the whole thing, it's a transfer of energy.
Yeah.
And you're using their energy against them to try to gain and manipulate, you know, getting opposition on them. And that just opens up a whole new doorway and aspect. So now you actually have to sit there and think about what the fuck they're
Exactly.
going to do while you're, man, that's...
Eddie Bravo. That's why his place is called 10th Planet.
Dude, he's
Because
wild.
he's out there, dude.
I don't
Like-
know if I can hang with Eddie Bravo
Dude,
tripping, dude.
he's
a crazy
He's
dude.
a character. He's a wild guy. Dude.
Everything's CGI, man.
Yeah.
You can't believe
all
nothing.
fake, dude.
It's all fake. We never went to the moon.
The world's flat.
The world's flat.
Yeah, he's a flat earther, man.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I was
Listening
just
to him
watching
and
a
Rogan.
comedian the other day. He was like, this whole Earth flat thing. You ever heard of any, boater guys coming across the Atlantic? Like, yeah, whenever we hit that fall off right at the end and we flip over to the bottom side, woo, that's a ride.
Yeah, right. Because you would have to go. On
You'd
the
have to go.
opposite- Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the ice wall.
He's
All of a
like, we
sudden we're living
literally
on
have
Asgard.
photos
Yeah.
of the Earth that's round.
Well, that's the other. I was watching a thing about flat earthers too, and that on every depiction, granted they're on maps, but every depiction back in the day from all these different civilizations, I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago,
Yeah.
are all saying that it's a flat.
Oblong.
No, it's the world is flat, or the land is flat. There's an ice wall around it, and that's where that's why it's funny that you said Asgard, because that's how it's depicted.
Yeah.
And they have it in all these different cultures. So I think that's why people tag along with that too. But they also, like what we were talking about before with like how people like ancient aliens and stuff like that, they all see shit similar because like, all right, Odin looks and has the same powers as Zeus.
Yeah.
Zeus looks and has the same powers as Jesus almost. Beard,
God.
long hair, a
Yeah,
god,
God.
that can make, or a god, maybe not Jesus, but
From
like
whatever
God,
we depict
Christian,
a
yeah.
God to look
Yeah.
like.
They
Yeah.
all have the same stereotypical big, like they were all giants except Jesus, but like all giants, beard, long hair.
Maybe he was a giant amongst the Jews.
Hey,
you know?
but then you got Samson, right?
Or
Who was a
Hercules. or-
giant, yeah. There you go. And
See,
there's
but-
all these depictions of almost the same, and the same thing with the flood. That's depicted everywhere around the world.
Oh, yeah.
There was
Oh,
a
yeah.
massive flood. So like, this shit's not just. There has to be some
You know
sort
what we
of
should
truth
do?
to
We
this.
should put something online onto every social media and just say water's not blue.
Yeah, right.
Because it's not. But you know how many people would be like,
Well, then how
oh,
come the
yeah, it
sky is
is.
Yeah, the arguments will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
would be
Whoa.
forever, right?
I don't know,
Yeah.
dude. I just came from Grand Cayman, and that water was
Blue.
fucking blue. It was goddamn beautiful there.
The other day, or a couple, I don't know how long ago, I lose track of time, but maybe a couple months ago, I was flying back from Colorado, and I had a window seat, and I was just had these ideas going.
My
through
brother's
my
an
head.
idea guy.
And,
got a
and
lot.
I'm looking down. I'm looking down at, I don't know what we were at, 15,000 feet, whatever. And you can still see the houses, and I'm going through a divorce right now, right? And it's all about assets, and I'm looking at the houses and they're like this big, they're just like the size of a nickel.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at the cars and they're the size of an ant. And the people, you can't even see them.
Yeah.
And the belongings in the house that I'm fighting over right now is like minuscule, right? So then the thought went through my head, okay, in the Bible it says that God made man after after our images is what it states in the Bible. So who knows who he was talking to? That's a whole nother conversation. But so then I thought, okay, so if he made us in his image, then is he only little tiny?
Because he's looking down.
Because he's looking down.
No, if he made us like him, then he would only be little minuscule
Yeah.
thing,
on a
right? Yeah. Instead of being this
grand
I sit on the clouds and I throw thunder at you, but it's like, it made me put the perspective, like if you've ever been to the Grand Canyon, you just feel like
small.
Yeah.
nothing matters anymore,
No. No.
And I was just like, God, we are just little tiny pieces of dust that
We're just,
it's crazy.
In the grand scheme of things, like our worlds are big to ourselves.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like once you pan out and you look down at things, you're like, man, my problems aren't that fucking
It's all
bad.
ego.
No.
And that's
It's
the
ego.
problem. That's the problem with our country. Like I actually don't think, yes, we have problems, but I love our country and I think we're still the best no matter what.
Sure.
But a lot of people here do not want to fucking pan out. They don't want to look back at the grand scheme of things. That's
No.
why
Right.
every little topic is so personal.
They
Like,
don't see the
we don't do
forest for the trees.
Exactly.
They just don't see it because that's what like astronauts say when they come back from space.
Yeah.
They just there's a sense of incredible humbleness that just settles in on them when they look at that freaking ball just by itself.
Right.
And it's this big that they're looking at it. And it's like, man, I live there.
Yeah.
And it's only this fucking big right now. Jesus Christ.
Or the idea that we're just on a rock hurtling through empty space. How scary is that thought? We're just I don't care. I got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
I wanna have
Infinite
a beer.
nothingness.
Into nothingness.
It just makes you feel you're like, holy shit, why am I even here? You know what I mean? Because we're so small.
Yeah, at that point, everything we say just is irrelevant and self-absorbed egos.
Yeah.
That's
why the greed of people that's what gets me the most, man. It's just like, that's why I just like when people like just driving down the fucking road, there's always that asshole.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I saw one yesterday.
Yeah. And it's just like, why? You don't have to drive on the shoulder. Just get in line. We'll all get to where we're going. Just chill the fuck out.
Sometimes I'm the asshole. I know it. I could be like, oh, that was an asshole move.
Well, everybody falls into it.
Yeah. Because of anger and whatever.
Yeah, and because we're self-serving people.
Yes.
Like we're selfish, and that's just who we are in nature. Like my job's more important than your job to me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm going to cut you off because I'm going to be late for work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not right by any means, but it's because we're selfish. It's because we don't see past ourselves.
Well, and what people are also is just, it's that fear of losing that job.
Yeah.
Instead of just being open and honest, like, hey man, I woke up 15 minutes late. I might not be on time today, but I'll be there as soon as I can possibly get there. And if you got a cool boss, they'll understand.
Yep.
Right.
Because you're fucking human. Everybody has a freaking day.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But if it happens all the time, then you got to readjust yourself, son.
Exactly.
Well, yesterday it was the middle of the day, and I was going to do a parallel park in downtown DeKalb.
Yeah.
Right. And there's an open spot. I have my flashers on. I'll have a beer. I have my flashers on, and I pull up, and angle myself to parallel, New Glarus, and parallel in between these two cars. Well, the guy behind me saw me throw my flashers on at the light, And instead of giving me space to back into my spot, he crawls right up on my back. And he beeps his horn. And I'm like, dude, I'm backing in it. I mean, you know how to
gave you all
park,
the
right,
signs.
dude? Yeah. Set aside from throwing an air traffic controller out there with some flags.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, back, and you know what? He would not. And I was like, okay, this is a point in my life when I can make a decision here. Like, I could open the door, put it in park, open the door, and walk back there and ask him if I need to drive his truck around mine. Or I could just move on, go around the block again, and get out of his fucking way. So I moved on and went around the block and got in his fucking way.
Because getting out of your car is a very dangerous thing to do because then that shows.
I checked him out in the rear view. I think I was pretty safe. If anything, his wife would have told him, hey, roll the windows up, you know?
Roll him up, lock the door.
I think he's going to the tattoo parlor. This is not a good sign.
He's one of those biker guys.
But it's like common courtesy.
Yeah.
Common courtesy, just individual respect. Respect in the world is gone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Because people think that they instantly should get.
Yeah. Well, it's the phones. I'm looking now. See, if you take the idea of looking out of a plane and looking how minuscule we are, when you look through the phones at what's going on in the world, you get that same perspective. How minuscule you get the perspective that what's on that screen don't matter.
Yeah.
Let me get this guy's water.
No, I get what you're saying. It's fucking weird, man.
Oh, people suck nowadays.
Yeah.
That should be a T-shirt.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure they got more than just sucks.
You can't look it up online though.
But I think fucking phones rule everything and ruined everything.
Yep.
I think that's literally where it all stems from, because we have too much knowledge at the tips of our fingers, and now since the last 4 years, they've pretty much are able to wipe out factual things. So now it's like we have all this knowledge that now it's useless because they're changing the vernacular, they're changing everything, and they're erasing the past and stuff. So it's like,
well, it's like, can't you go on Wikipedia and just change shit?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that would be like going into the encyclopedia and just taking out the whole paragraph on what a whale is, you know?
Just blacking out like a line and be like, nope, we're not doing that anymore.
Like your CIA, I'm just going to redact this statement.
Dude, that was actually something like that where a guy that converted, you know, he's a trans, and it says that he wants to carry a baby now. And every doctor he's gone to has told him, it's like,
you can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
He's very determined. But yet, the very next scene he comes to is like, well, I guess I have to come to my reality that I just can't have kids.
And it's like, it
Better for the kid.
Yeah.
It took you how fucking long to get to this realization? Like, that shouldn't have took that long. Because it should be pretty simple.
Because people feel like they should get whatever they want. You know? And that's scary.
And I'm sorry to say, but those, they're mentally fucking unstable people.
Oh, they 100% are. And it shouldn't even be like you said, sorry to say. No, it should just be that. Because in no other way, like I've said before, like, if I called you up one day and I was like, hey, bro, I was thinking a lot about it. And, you know, I feel like I'm a worm and I'm going to cut off my arms and my ears and I'm going to live my life as a worm. He would be like,
slug.
Ma, something's fucking wrong with Brandon. He's not going to turn around and be like, hey, you
He
live
wants
your
to be
truth.
a worm
Hey,
and
man.
not a snake. Yeah, that's crazy, Mom.
But like, they would absolutely turn around and be like, "There's something wrong with you."
Yeah.
But you would not turn around and be like, "Live your truth," because this
Be
is
a
who you
worm.
are.
Yeah,
No, nobody would do that.
No.
Except with this scenario.
See, but why are there sick parents doing this to their kids? I mean, there's
Because it's virtue signaling.
what's
Look at me and what I've done for my child who was struggling.
Yeah.
see because
Look at all the stuff I've helped them with.
I know someone that is going through that.
Yeah.
Nicest fucking guy in the world, man. Never would have thought it, but yeah, he's got a son who wants to be a girl, and he doesn't know what to do, how to say, how to do. I'm like, I feel for you, bro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. You know?
And that's another thing, that because we have these opinions that we do think it's a mental disorder or whatever it may be, that now we're deemed fucking racist or sexist or what,
brutish or whatever,
misogynist,
yeah.
whatever it is, they're gonna throw a label at it, and it's like, but dude, why are you not seeing the mental health aspect of this at all, and the trending aspect of it? That a lot of this shit,
big time trend,
dude.
Oh, yeah.
This turned into a fucking trend. It turned into something for people to identify with
and to grasp at and get attention for.
Yeah, 100%. Are there, and that's what sucks too, because even though we do have these opinions, at least speaking for myself, I do feel for those people. I feel bad because they're struggling really fucking bad, and they're gonna have a hard fucking life.
Right.
And that
if they're
sucks.
struggling and not just trying to trend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, either way, you're gonna put yourself in that scenario. You're gonna fucking struggle. You're gonna have pushback. You're gonna have bullies. You're gonna have shit on a daily basis. That you're deciding to do this. Now, kids getting into it because their parents pushed them whatever ways.
Yeah.
Like, I still feel bad, but now is when you go talk to counselors. Now is when you don't go and get something cut off. You don't start taking medicine that's irreversible. Like,
Right.
that shit's
Hormone
ridiculous.
blockers.
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna say my kid wants to be a woman, a girl, and it's a boy, and we're gonna support that, then I should be able to say at the age of 6, I should be able to send my son to school with a 5th of whiskey. And say, he likes to drink. I don't know what to tell you.
He likes to taste.
You know?
It's real sweet.
Yeah, he's cool. Just don't get him pissed off. You know?
Just let him hang out. I only
Just let him chill.
I only gave him a 5th. He's fine.
He's not allowed to ride the bike either.
Don't give
so
him
don't
another
worry.
5th.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, if you're gonna make those kind of decisions for kids, then let us do all the decisions. Let us make
And-
all the wrong decisions. You make enough wrong decisions as it is as a
you,
parent.
well, you make the enough
You
wrong
know.
decisions, that wrong decision turns right.
Exactly.
Because you do it so often
That's like the
that's how
dictionary.
people sees it.
That's like the fucking dictionary, man. Have you looked at the goddamn dictionary
Do they
nowadays?
make them anymore?
Yeah, they actually add words
Constantly.
because of fucking
Yep.
goddamn it, the ethnicity of it all, and people change the words as it goes along. So if you use a word like fucking like when twerking was a thing, you know,
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is twerking?
Right.
You know,
Or the word memes. You said it earlier, and when you said the word memes earlier, I thought to myself, 15 years ago, that didn't even exist.
No, and that's the thing. But now, if you look it up, there's gonna be meme.
Right.
It's now a digital whatever the fuck. That's it. Now they have words for cultural indifference.
Yep.
It's so fucking weird.
It is
and
weird.
it could be the very same word that meant this 20 years ago.
Right.
You know, like shit.
Yeah.
You know, a substance that comes out of somebody's ass hand. Now, shit. It could be an expression of a situation that happens to you in life.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Okay,
like, what
so-
the fuck?
Yeah.
So is that the American version of the encyclopedia? Because I'm pretty sure not every country agrees with what we're doing. So their encyclopedias or dictionaries, are probably not changing like ours.
No. But here's the other thing, too. Is
And
that,
some might get more progressive.
Yeah.
So,
but
like,
what's fucked up is that if you listen to the people from the UK who are ground zero for English, I don't know what the fuck they're talking.
yeah.
You know? And they sit there and say that we sound redneck to them
Oh, yeah.
with our English talk, and then you sit there and listen to them and like,
Well, our
bloody hell,
brother-in-law,
we're going to the fucking blind.
our brother-in-law is from England, and he always says, "You guys destroyed the language." Like you guys just
but aren't we-
made stuff
aren't we
up. You
supposed
just
to?
Are you taking a piss?
But aren't we supposed to after a while? Like, being so intermixed in the culture, like the
Right.
melting pot? Like, we're not supposed to sound like
See,
them.
but and here's the basic level of fucking American culture is that there is none.
yeah.
yeah.
There is none. Because it's just a melting pot of everything.
Yeah.
So there
And
is no culture. It's just be
American
free.
culture is pop culture.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
American culture.
Yes.
Which I totally get that. And I ride by it. I think that's because then you're getting all
But now you're getting into glitz and glamour and the selfish kind.
not that type of stuff, but like the early days of pop culture. So like the blues, stuff like that, where
like crawling out of the
Yeah,
slums
where-
and becoming somebody.
yeah, because back in the day, like, you know, white church going people or whatever only listened to this type of music.
Oh, yeah.
Now all of a sudden this got introduced through the radio and they're like, holy shit, we love the blues. We you know what I mean?
That's why they loved Elvis, because he was.
I was just thinking the same thing.
He
I
was the
gonna
bridge
say.
between two worlds.
blend. Yeah. So like that, I'm into.
Even though
I
he
think
wasn't
that
very talented.
No. Plus, he was stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, if you I'm sorry.
and
if
he's
you,
still alive. No.
Yeah. But if you watch that
With Tupac
documentary
in Cuba.
or that docu movie
Yeah, I
with
watched
the Tom Hanks movie,
Yeah.
dude, I'm sorry. If that's all true, Elvis was dumb. He was a dumb, uneducated redneck from Tupelo, Mississippi.
Pretty much. I
And
mean,
he was controlled by
A greedy redneck.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, you want to tour the world, huh? We're gonna go to the Grand or the International Hotel in fucking Vegas.
Yeah.
There, you're touring the world because you're gonna have everybody from the world come and see
And
me.
he was just like, I can't take this.
And you
man.
know-
Just started doing drugs.
you know
Yeah.
his story, what it mirrors, is like Mike Tyson's story.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
'Cause-
Total different spectrum
Well-
of everything, but like,
See, but the thing is that yes and no, because he didn't start out with a shitbag manager, because Customato was a straight up guy. He
but
trained him well, and he trained him how to fight.
but how he tells the story is that Castellano, how do you say it?
Customato.
almost brainwashed him to the point of no feelings. So, like, yeah, I get what you're saying, absolutely.
Because
but
as a boxer, you have
you
to
have
approach each opponent with no fear.
exactly,
I get it.
So he beat it. Literally and figuratively, he beat it into Tyson's head that this is how you need to perform, like the anger where
Well,
it
because
needs to come from.
he was actually an undersized kid,
Yeah,
and he was actually getting bullied, and that's why Customato trained him. But he had to train him to where he's not going to be that
the
sheltered,
shy, timid.
that sheltered kid that's got a fucking
Yeah.
So he had to get that out of him, which is fine. But in the long run, once Cuss died, that flipped that switch and freaking
yeah.
Tyson again, and he's now that kid in the ghetto that's just beating every bully's up, and that's all he saw was a bully in the corner, and he's like, "You're not a fucking bully to me, motherfucker." And yeah.
But the whole aspect of an outside source seeing that they can generate money from that person,
Oh yeah.
and they just leached onto him and took every fucking thing that he could get.
Fuck you, Don King.
Yep.
That's a con man.
Yeah, and that's the story of a lot of those
lot
types
of
Oh yeah,
celebrities,
because they'll sit
yeah.
there and promise you the world,
Yeah.
man. They'll promise you the
They're
world.
same thing as politicians.
That's
you know,
exactly what it is.
They're what's the old term? Snake oil sales.
Yeah, snake oil salesman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's they're spitting out shit for you to feel good, and then nothing comes from it, and their
Right.
pockets get fat, and you get beat up.
Right. Yeah. And then you can't speak out against it, because then you're outcast and an outlaw.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
retarded.
It's fucking crazy. I just so here's something that's kind of been bothering me. What the fuck happened to the drones? What? So
Yeah.
they come out with this bullshit thing, and this is on Trump's people. They come out and say, "All right, so we're gonna address the drones finally." I'm sitting there, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude! There's aliens!" And they come out and say, "Yeah, they're ours, and they were looking for stuff, and there's some people flying their own." And that's it. They walked away. We solved no problems. We have no answers. There was hundreds of these fucking things. Hundreds. The size of Volkswagens, the size of buses.
Yeah.
What are they looking for? What was that about?
Especially flying over military bases in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Fort Dix over there. That's
Dude,
That's
a bunch of
penitentiary
bases
land.
all over the U.S. And
They
they
were looking
still
for
never came
aliens.
out and said, I think what was leaked to the public was actually true. I think those were drone sniffing fucking nuke things. And they were looking for some sort of nuclear
Someone
material.
brought
Where all the
in
bomb bunkers
something.
are.
Yeah. Because at the
Possibly.
same time,
you got the ports there, and
the same time as that was going on, there was a leaked thing that came out that said that 2 nukes were missing. And then
I saw
you
that guy
remember that?
talk about that. Yeah.
And then
Nukes.
That they knew they came across the border into the
Yep.
United States, and then they lost track of them.
they
It was
lost
a
track
CIA
of them,
guy that said
and then
it.
they
Yeah.
found the container where they were at, and it was opened, and they were gone. And that got buried 2 seconds, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden these drones are UFOs and this and that.
They
No,
were-
no, they're not
They were
sniffing
nuclear
anything.
war.
They were looking
I
for
don't know
something.
what they were, but they were. But yeah, he said they were tracking them,
Yep.
and they tracked the buyer and everything, and then all of a sudden, once they got into the U.S., they disappeared.
Yep. And it was through the New Jersey port.
Huh.
Yeah, who is that guy that was
I'm
talking
sure-
about that?
Is
I
that
was
Alex
watching it on
Jones?
YouTube.
Is that Alex
No,
Jones? That guy's
no.
into everything, man.
well, that dude, that's another thing. Like 20
Is that
years
the hair
ago.
guy?
No, the bald
that's
guy.
bald.
Talk like this, and he's like, get all
turn of the
excited.
frogs
Oh
gay.
yeah. All the frogs are gay. The water's gay. Don't drink the water. Everything's gay.
We're doing this to fight for your rights,
Yeah.
you know.
No, but like even with him, like, dude, I've said this several times. I love the conspiracy stuff. I think it's fun. It's fascinating. I love the UFO shit, Bigfoot, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I did it because it was interesting, right?
Right.
Now, I fucking question everything because everything he was saying 20 years ago,
Came to fruition.
yeah, it fucking panned out.
Yeah.
So how can you sit there and discredit this guy and keep calling him a fucking kook when literally all the shit? I mean, he fucking said COVID-19 is coming to the U.S. He said it fucking
Well,
like 6 years before it happened.
Well, he also was the one that put on there that I think it was Fauci that said it.
Yeah.
6 months before COVID even hit,
Mm-hmm.
Fauci was on screen saying that, oh, don't worry, something's coming.
Yep. Bill Gates also said the same thing.
Yeah.
And
Well,
now,
well, Bill Gates, dude, that
oh, I know,
dude. Don't
I
get me
know.
started on that
I
fucking.
fucking
You want to
hate-
talk about Nazis?
Dude, he's a fucking.
That fascist motherfucker is a
Yep.
Nazi, right? I mean, that's Hitler today.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry, people. Bill Gates is fucking Hitler. You want to
Yep.
talk about Nazis? That's a fucking Nazi right there.
Well, like, I was telling him, like, they always want to point the finger and be like, you know, Elon's a real supervillain. Look at, he's a billionaire. He
No,
wants this and that.
he doesn't fund the drug companies to manipulate
like-
shit for us to die or not be able to procreate or anything like that. That's what Bill Gates
Yep.
does. He's formulating food that doesn't have any nutrition for
Yep.
you at all.
As
and
he's
says
eating
it's-
McDonald's.
Yeah, and it's like, it's wonderful for you. Don't worry. It's all packed with nutrients. It's all just fucking shit.
Yeah, it's crushed up maggots
Yeah,
and shit.
oh,
and like, no, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Everything he wants to do, I have a huge issue with people that want to eliminate human life. And that's what he wants to do. He wants to get us weak, stupid,
Controlled
sedated.
population.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he said in a fucking TED talk that you can pull up on YouTube at any time.
Yeah.
He says we're gonna if we can do it through birth control
And vaccines.
vaccines and abortions,
Yeah.
we should be fine. But how? So you might as well just come out and say we got to kill a lot of people and then we'll be good again.
Maybe his.
Well, it's
dad
like
should've-
Bill Burr had a fucking bit
Oh,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah,
man. He had three bits, like
Yeah.
3 specials, like freaking saying he's like the politicians are gonna come out and they're just too much of a fucking pussy to say it. That fucking they gotta say that 85% of you gotta go.
Yep.
And there's a questionnaire underneath your seat, and
Oh,
if
yeah.
you didn't bring a pencil, you're already out.
that's where he says about the cruise ships. We should
Yes.
just send cruise ships
Yeah,
out. with
yeah, just start
6,000
sinking
people
those.
sinking them.
Just like
Yeah.
think about the humanity that goes on cruise ships.
But he's not wrong.
I
mean,
took offense to that. I like cruise
I like
ships.
cruise ships. I went
Fuck
to
Bill Burr.
The Aegean, the Aegean Sea is beautiful on a cruise ship.
Yeah, it's fucking weird that nobody even like when he came out and said that, nobody even fucking stopped and questioned it or anything.
Well, look at George Carlin.
Oh yeah, he was
Going
going on about everything,
spilling
for
the beans
fucking
on
ever.
everything.
And
And everybody's just kind of,
Yeah.
it's just so funny. It's so true. It's so funny.
you know what's
You know?
crazy to me too that Democrats are doing right now? They're all up in arms about the new people that are put in these positions, right? And they all want to say all this bad shit. All of those people were fucking Democrats at one point.
I know it.
You know
Even
what I'm
Trump
saying?
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trump himself. I mean, you can pull up the video of him on The View where they were praising.
Oh yeah, they were
Donald Trump.
hugging him.
Oh,
Whoopi
he's
was
our
kissing
friend,
him. Yeah.
and this, that, and the other. Now, fucking, they're gonna be taking your babies. You know,
Yep.
they're gonna be burning your house down and all
Yeah,
this kind of
it's-
shit. It's like, you fucking bitches don't know shit.
Dude, and then they discredit a lot of these people that are put into these positions, and they're like, "Oh, like I like Tulsi Gabbard.
Me too.
I don't necessarily think she is the best for the position she got, but
She's the most qualified.
she will get shit done.
Yeah.
She is qualified, and she'll get shit done. Bobby Kennedy, same fucking thing.
Yep.
Dude's gonna get a lot done.
That's
immediately.
That's where I wanted to get to too. Is did you see the questioning, and especially by the panel? I'm sorry. Bernie Sanders has no reason to be on any kind of panel
No.
to question anybody on health.
No.
I'm sorry, Bubby. Vaccines don't cause any kind of manipulation in DNA. True or false? Do you believe this statement, Bubby? It's just a simple question, Bubby. Just like, are we gonna be personal here? Because calling him Bubby, that's degrading, number one, and it doesn't put him in a position that you're fucking supposed to be qualified.
You might as well call him Hun at that point.
Right, exactly. Be professional. Don't be a fucking
No,
prick.
he's making a joke of it.
Yeah. Because they've known each other for a while, but he didn't like it when Kennedy threw it right back in his face, and he's like, "No, you're taking a lot of fucking money from those people," and he was like, "Oh no. All right, I was waiting for this to come up." He had no rebuttal to it because it's fucking true.
Yeah. But he talks. He didn't even ask a question. He just like spoke in like fucking phrases.
Yeah.
It doesn't cause autism. What do you think of that, Bubby? True or false?
Yeah.
True or false, Bubby? And it's just like, shut the fuck up, you bald little bastard.
Well, he's another one. He's a full socialist.
I mean, I can't really talk shit because I'm in the union.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a socialist construct, but using capitalist gains.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like there's pros and cons to socialism, and there's other countries that have tried socialism, got to a certain pinnacle in their life as a government, where all of a sudden something fucked up and it fell apart.
Yeah, all the time,
because they can't sustain the fact that people should be at they're putting people at a criteria on what they're worth.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Which is fine. Prevailing wage is much better than fucking the right to work bullshit that they tell you that, you get the right to work. Well, everybody has a right to work.
Right.
But now they're just taking away your opinion of what you're worth. Now you can't go to fucking Walmart or Meijer or any kind of, corporation that says, well, we're going to pay you only $9 an hour because you're going to be stocking shelves. And you're just like, well, I'm going to be lifting shit and doing this. I think it's more worth like $15.
Exactly.
You can't make that barter anymore.
Nope.
No.
That's the whole right to work bullshit. They're telling you what you're worth to them, not what you think you're worth to them. So that's what people...
And that's across the board, because I'm an owner-operator, so I could call... I could accept or deny work based on what, and I know my worth. But if I tell them, I need more money to do that, then they're like, all right, well, we'll just find someone else to do it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. And you won't get anything.
Yeah.
So then you're like, all right, shit. I'll take the lesser to do it just because I need to generate revenue.
Well, you just got to make sure that the people that are doing it, you do realize that you need somebody trained to do with the work that you're asking for. And if you
nowadays they
go outside
don't
of
care.
I know
A lot of places don't care. There's no skill level. They just want a breathing human being to do it, and that they can do it for cheapest and make the most money, like this grocery bill shit.
The cheapest bid.
I mean, right now I was watching a thing. It was it was actually a commercial for Aldi, which I never see a commercial for Aldi, right? Never.
Isn't that German?
Yeah.
Isn't it German?
It's a German company. It is. Yeah. And but they were talking about how during the commercial they were putting down other grocery chains by saying, "Oh, you think you're a preferred shopper? You're not a preferred shopper. You're not saving any money on anything.
Yeah.
You can go to Aldi and pay way less than even a discount rate." And I was like, damn, man. Like, these grocery stores are brutal.
Yeah.
Right.
Same thing with like
that Aldi's got to make a fucking commercial now?
And you know what I really question though, on like the Axis powers in World War II. Germany, Italy, Japan. Why is it that everything that is German or Italian made is the most expensive fucking thing in the goddamn
They gotta
world?
get their money back.
No. They caused the atrocities in the fucking world. They should be impoverished states for what they started and what they caused throughout history. So you and I should be able to go pick up a Porsche for fucking $10 on the corner.
Right.
What the fuck, man?
Nope.
But some of the greatest engineers come from those regions.
Exactly, and we recruited them here in the U.S. So what the fuck are we doing here? So it's like they caused all this death, destruction, and disparity throughout all of Europe and across the entire board of the world, basically, and disrupted the whole world system. But yet they can recoup and regenerate their infrastructure and their fucking economic structure faster than what we did since the Great Depression.
Yep.
So it's like they did it better. They have the most expensive shit in the world, the Italian leather, the designer shit, the fucking German engineering that you said, all that kind of crap. That should not be the pinnacle of the pricing and anything for, like, if we wanted to get something German or anything Italian, like I said, any kind of like NATO forces that fought the Axis powers, we should have fucking like
shit just being sent us.
Exactly. They should be like mailing us shit. Like, here,
because
try this out. We're sorry for killing 6 million people.
Because when all that happened, there was some sort of backdoor deal. Because who helped rebuild all that shit? We helped them.
No shit.
And that's one of those things. Like, why do we even? Why? It's never just
they owe us.
Exactly. It's never just a genuine thing. So somewhere down the line, someone from America was like, "We got you guys. Don't worry. You guys can be the expensive people." Like, it benefited somebody, and it wasn't fucking us.
No.
One individual, few individuals probably, but America as a whole, no.
No. And the only thing that they really,
crazy.
I mean, the only thing that they really did was limit their numbers of a military.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all they
That's
did.
it.
And now it doesn't matter.
No.
It's irrelevant now.
Because, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the German military and how they train. They're fucking bad, man. Those guys are fucking scary.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And they're just a regular army. You know what I mean? Their regular army is fucking scary. You know, our regular army, I mean, it's like Joe's at a fucking barbecue, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you, this is a little bit off subject. I was just curious because we were talking about this. What are your thoughts of the cartels with the special forces, if that ever pops off?
Oh, if we go down there?
Yeah.
Dude, I saw something like that on X, and fucking, of course, it was a liberal sitting there saying that, oh, Trump's gonna start fucking with the cartels, and she's just like, I'd like to see him try and see what really happens and comes of it. I'm just like, are you fucking stupid? We will stain the earth of them with their blood. I'm like, you just don't know how bad our fucking special forces are.
Yeah. I watched this guy, and he said, you don't understand that we are masters of violence.
Yes.
And he's like, we will eliminate them so fast and so dramatically. He's like, it will leave them with their mouth.
But here's the thing. You can't, in Mexico, we could be like, oh, the problem's in the Mexican cartels. No. There's Nicaraguan cartels. There's Honduras cartels.
Well, everything, but that's Mexico is
there's Colombian cartels. It's just Mexico is just on our backyard.
Well, Mexico is the cartel highway.
Yeah,
right.
Because everything from Colombia, from the cocaine and everything
now
travels
goes
up
that
through.
way as opposed to going through the Caribbean.
Yeah, and then they're still trying to go through Panama and boating and all that kind of crap, but it still goes through the highways of freaking Mexico. Everything gets transported through Mexico.
But I just think a cockroach is a cockroach, and they have ways of surviving. And even if we smash them, that infrastructure doesn't die.
Well, see,
the drugs still move.
Here's the problem with us going down there to fight the cartels, and if this ever does happen, if we go down and fight the cartels, Mexico is now becoming a part of the
United States. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because once they clear out the government in Mexico, because it's so corrupt.
Yep.
And we help get people in, you're essentially the 51st state.
Yep.
Which means we can get cheaper drugs.
But they're brewing the fucking meth and shit now, you know, which is stupid. You know, now they're just creating more fucking attention for themselves.
I just don't see. You can't stop something like that.
Well,
the world is driven off drug money. The whole world economy.
The economy since 1988.
Yeah,
we can interrupt it so dramatically, though, that they are going to need to find different avenues, and it's going to be hard because, like that guy was saying, like it'll be something fast. But
will eliminating that destroy our economy?
No. Oh, hell no.
You don't think so? You don't think it would have an effect on it?
Think about it. I mean, weed is still illegal in Mexico.
Yeah.
So that's their number one outcrop of an illegal source is marijuana, number one. They don't produce cocaine down there. That's shipped through.
Right.
You know what I mean? So their number one drug output is weed. So if league is legal, and meth, because they got the meth labs all along there. But if you clear out the meth, you legalize the weed, you clear out the fucking government, and then make they're more exports and everything, and like you said, being the 51st state, now people will have factories that are even there now, like Ford and fucking the car manufacturers and shit like that. Those will now be U.S. run.
You know how difficult that would be to police. Holy crap,
dude! But to put our entire infrastructure into it, I mean, dude.
See, you're talking about 100 years of building in order.
But that's why people just don't understand. Like, you don't want a war with
down
Mexico.
on the borders. No,
because if like you said, or like we just covered, man, if that does happen, they underestimate the pure destructive power of what we will do.
Yeah.
I mean, you just send a fucking brigade of Marines down there and they will fucking level the area.
Yeah.
I know there's military down on the border.
Oh yeah.
They're in Texas.
There's forts all along.
There was a special forces dude I was watching. He's like, because he's under the belief that they're not going to go do anything. He's like, but if we get the okay, he's like, a lot of shit will change incredibly fast.
Yes, it has to be fast.
He's like,
because if anybody finds out, like the cartels,
what
if
it'll
they find
be,
out
it'll
if
just
anybody
be
survives,
like high value target things.
It would
where
be,
they just go in and they take out some high.
Yeah, they would get
guy
all
in the
the
cartel to start breaking
all
down
the
their
main dudes, the El
infrastructures.
Chapos, all these they'll cut all their heads off, get rid of the snakes, and then you'll have some dudes dwindling. Basically, what they did with ISIS and the Taliban and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
we created ISIS.
We probably already run operations into Mexico.
Yeah.
You know,
probably.
no one knows about them because they're done at night. And
Dude, I'm sorry.
They're all over the world.
That movie Sicario, I don't know if you've seen it.
yeah,
That's too goddamn good and accurate to not be true. You know, that's somebody's tale that
that's
says,
somebody's biography.
It's fiction. You know, it's like, nah.
There was somebody that spilled the beans that they got some of that from.
Yeah.
You know?
That has to be something.
But I was just curious because there is this mixed thing, and not so much about like the whole thing being disbanded and cartels are never. I know cartels are going to come back. I know they're always going to be there. They're going to find different ways. But a lot of people are saying like they are not even like our military is not going to be able to stand with the cartel. And I'm like, dude.
Our technology alone.
Well, because they sit there, they have this new cartel down there now
that are getting more militant.
They're getting more militant. They got the ATVs.
They got drones. They got all types of shit.
Well, they got the armored vehicles. They got all the automatic weapons, the gear, and everything. You know, so they're getting militant, like you said.
They got money.
But
no.
Their training isn't the same. They're eating tacos and.
I mean, but they can say what they want. They're still plucked off the street as kids, given a gun, and said, "Go shoot this."
Yep.
You know, now you're protected.
Here's a large sum of money right away.
Yeah.
You just have this, and then you don't really get paid because that's what I've heard from cartel members that like
they blind them with this much.
Yeah,
and
they
then
like
that's all
throw
they
them this
get.
huge amount when they were like 18, and they're like, "This is awesome," and then after that, it's like fucking peanuts.
Scraping.
Yeah. And meanwhile, you've already killed 100 people, and you're in that world now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was interesting because there are so many people that are like, "Oh my god, that's gonna be a real war." And I don't think it's gonna be what you think it's gonna be.
No.
Like,
It might be something for about an hour, you
Yeah.
know, and then we'll adjust. And
there'll
then,
be little skirmishes, little people popping shots here and there, but
you gotta remember too, they're dug in. You gotta go pretty. I was watching.
so are the Japs.
Well, yeah, I know, but so are the Vietnamese.
Yeah.
so are the Taliban in the mountains and shit. I mean, like
they're still dug in.
Yeah, they're.
I was watching a
Blow up
thing
the
on about what's his Penn going to
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn when he went to see El Chapo, and interview him. Like it was like a 10-hour drive and then like a 4-hour flight and then like, dude, I would not want to go fight them. I'd be like, dude, I can't even handle a flight to fucking LA, let alone, in some little 2-seater going through the mountains.
That whole thing was weird too.
I never watched a documentary about
how
it.
did
And I was
he
like,
not
what the
get
fuck?
fucking like charged with something? Or like, because it was
For
literally
like knowing the whereabouts of
Yeah,
a wanted fugitive
Does
or
that
something?
make you an accessory then?
you have his location. They literally have not flyers, but shit on the like
But
FBI.
he went
knows-
down as a quote journalist.
but
Yeah.
he's not.
So-
He has no credentials.
Right, but does that protect what you're gonna say? Or can they not take anything for you because you're a quote journalist and you're doing an interview?
He went with that girl.
That's some shady shit.
The
right
girl
Yeah.
that he knew her, or knew El Chapo. Neither one of them are fucking
You
journalists.
know who else went down with him?
Who?
Was Oliver Stone's producer.
Oh,
and
yeah, I did hear something like that.
yeah, because Oliver Stone was gonna give he had like $10 million that he was gonna put up to do a documentary movie about El Chapo, and they think that's why Sean Penn went down there, because his interview, he didn't ask him questions, he more or less studied him, and they thought that Sean Penn was maybe gonna play
El Chapo.
El Chapo and
Well,
went
probably
down
at
to
his
study
request.
his mannerisms and shit. Yeah, I was like, what? It's
So,
crazy.
wasn't there a thing back in the day that if you were this is not the same topic, but like if you were thought to be a communist, you were like brought in a room, interrogated, all this shit. Like if you know the whereabouts of this FBI's most wanted fucking dude right there, and Sean Penn's like, oh yeah, I hung out with him, we got lunch, this and that, comes back to the States and no one says shit to Sean Penn.
Well, it's like
Grab that
Sean
motherfucker and be
Penn.
like,
Well, it's
where
like
is he,
Dennis
bro?
Rodman, dude. He's
going to
fucking
Korea.
right,
Yeah.
being right hand man with Kim Jong Un, the guy that wants to fucking launch a missile at us.
Nope.
You know,
And that's just goofy scenario too. Like Kim Jong Un was like,
Yeah.
dude, Dennis Rodman's coming. You know, it's like,
my best friend.
I love the '96 Bulls. So
You see them next to each other, you're like, is this a fucking cartoon?
Right?
Where are we right now? This looks so odd. Like, polka dot
But that's
hair
what
and this
people
little
with those
short
kind of
guy.
influences can do.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's
if
why,
you or I went down there and they had us on video, they'd be like, all right, these motherfuckers are running drugs.
Yeah, wrap
And
them
let's
up.
get
Grab
them up. Let's
We-
get their families. Let's get everybody
dude,
they know.
we would have done the interview and they would have killed us on the way out.
Right.
El Chapo
Yeah,
would
Chapo
have
would've been like, dumb
done,
motherfucker.
Done.
Pop, pop.
Yeah. Sean Penn,
Or
meanwhile,
we'd been like,
I'm
hey, let's
artsy.
chill with Chapo a little
Yeah,
longer,
let's
man.
hang out
Dude,
with him. He seems like a nice guy.
dude seems cool down here. It's nice sides. Flight sucks.
He likes
you know?
tunnels.
Yeah.
He likes motorcycles.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Tunnels, and we could do this whole underground motocross racing thing.
a week later, we haven't eaten. He still seems like a nice guy. I'm hungry. But what the fuck?
Hey,
You know?
shit.
He promised us tacos.
Where's that plane?
Yeah, it's strange.
There's so every day for like the last like month and a half, every day at least once, the lyrics, "The world is a vampire" goes through my head.
Yeah. So
it's true.
so the
It is
question
so true nowadays.
So the question begs to carry on is, do you still think something's gonna happen?
Yep. I do.
something as in
Like
regarding what?
Like war?
Regarding war.
Yeah.
I think it's still a very, very strong possibility that
And
this is.
Are you
not
talking
over
about
yet.
war on our soil, or are you talking about
That's where I was
overall?
going with part B of the question is, do you think it'll happen here?
I don't think so.
I think that
Because I don't think it's a coincidence that those fucking, like we were talking about, like movies coming out at a certain time that flew under the radar. They didn't advertise them. They didn't do nothing like that. All of a sudden, they just pop up on Netflix.
Civil War and shit.
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
foreshadowing.
Kirsten Dunst and
Yeah.
they got
Yeah.
major headlining actors
Yeah.
in there, but they didn't advertise for
yeah,
them.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
foreshadowing
I saw
of
it.
the future.
Yeah, and they didn't say how the war began.
No, and it was based in like D.C. and the southern region states. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how Texas and California seceded.
And you
Seceded from
don't
the
don't
Union.
get a good gauge on the president of what side he lies on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They kind of leave
They
everything.
really
very
leave the
vague.
whole president idea
But did you
very
notice?
vague.
Did you notice the portrayal, if you will, of the president that was in that movie?
It was what's his name?
The
from
blue suit and the red tie.
Yeah.
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 I don't think anything. I don't know. I don't think anything.
I
will
think
happen
not,
on
like,
us. I
in the
think
beginning
we'll
when-
have troops deployed somewhere at some point.
They're already there.
Well, I mean like large mass troop deployments.
Like where
Where the fighting
right,
is right
where
now.
the
Yeah, yeah.
where it's gonna probably
like
pop
talking to
up.
my son, he's like he doesn't give me a whole lot of details on word. You know what's being said here and there.
I know where our
Yeah.
guys are.
But
They're not in
he's
the
like,
war
if
right
we
now.
gotta
but-
jump shit's hitting the fan if we're jumping.
You know what's fucked up is that I've been out of the Army 5 years now, and I'm getting DOD calls.
Really?
I actually got a test from the DOD the other. I'm like, what are you fucking calling me for?
Wow. That's weird.
Yeah. I've been out for years.
My one buddy he didn't say calls, but he is kind of expecting it. He's like, I wouldn't doubt it if somebody reaches out to me.
I wouldn't either.
Adam just said that their training's gone up, their tactical training. They're doing a lot more jumps right now. He's going for JRTC in 3 weeks.
Is he getting his wings?
He's got his wings. He's 82nd Airborne.
Oh, nice, dude.
And he's going to JRTC in Louisiana to Fort Tigerland. Is where he's doing his JRTC. So he said training's like off the charts right now. They're always out on the range. He did like a 10-night out tactical, jumping into the mountains in North Carolina, living off the land.
Little War X.
Yeah. So he said and then they just go back to the barracks and drink. So
yeah, that's what it is. Because when you have a War X, you do your exercises, you run your mission that's planned for you, and then you go back to the barracks and you fucking drink.
Yeah, he said that was crazy.
Because it's funny because it's fucking my unit that I was with was supposed to be earmarked with the 82nd Airborne when we were in Iraq. I was supposed to go to Kuwait and start setting up fuel points because I was with the fuelers unit. Fucking bunch of shitbags,
Yeah, he's like
our unit lost.
He's stationed at
we didn't get to go.
Fort Liberty.
Yeah.
He's stationed at Fort Liberty, which was Fort Bragg.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother conversation. The changing of all these base names.
They changed the name.
There's no longer Fort Benning is not Fort Benning anymore.
Fort Benning changed.
Fort Bragg changed. What's the Texas one? Fort Hood.
Fort Hood, yeah.
Fort Hood changed. I forget.
Well, there's a bunch in fucking Texas, man.
I think it all happened like when he went to Benning, he was the first class to graduate with it not being Benning.
They all still call
I forget what it's. Right? Yeah, they still call it Fort Bragg. But it's because they were generals that
That's like taking the fucking
Civil War generals.
The Civil War statues.
Yeah.
Well, it's the Sears Tower.
Same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not the
Call
Willis.
it whatever the fuck you want.
It's the Sears Tower.
Yeah,
It's the Willis. It's the
I don't
Willis
even
Tower.
know it's the Willis anymore. What is it?
What you talking about, Willis?
Is it the Willis Tower anymore? Because I thought
don't
it got
think so.
bought
I
again.
think it's something again.
Did he get bought again?
I thought so.
I thought it got bought out like 3
Someone
years
asked me
ago.
that the other day. They're like, "Oh, isn't it? It's not
probably
the
wrong.
Willis Tower anymore." I'm like, "Really? I didn't even know."
Somebody
back to the Sears.
You're right. It's not. It's the
Somebody
Sears
fact
Tower.
check us.
Yeah, it's the Sears Tower.
Yeah,
Always
I'm
has
not
been,
sure
always
about
will
that,
be.
but
But I don't think there's gonna be shit here besides like the shitbags that are already here that we might get a little bit. I think our police are gonna come back, and I think you're gonna see more of that type of interactions with these radical people out on the streets. But I don't think an actual war is gonna come here. In the beginning, when I first came, my first podcast here, I was on that boat. I thought for sure something was gonna happen here. Now, especially after the thing with Zelensky or whatever, isn't it? I don't see it being here, but I see us getting involved somewhere.
I don't know. I think we're going to.
That was a pretty bold fucking threat, though.
Dude, that was a wild conversation. That whole thing was just not. It was not peaceful.
No.
It was very combative. The whole thing.
I think we'll send more troops to the Middle East to try and put some
Iran.
pressure on Iran. Just a show of force over there to try and calm that area.
Because now people are also talking about
I don't see us going into
the potential.
Hamas, to deal with Hamas.
Israel.
That's their own.
That's their own shit. Yeah.
But like, this is a funny one because people are actually thinking that this is going to happen, a war between U.S. and Canada. I'm like,
that if that happened, well, it could just be Chicago versus Canada. Yes,
right,
at that point, right?
yeah,
I mean,
it's just going to be a lot of slapping.
Yeah. It'll be Chicago and Detroit.
yeah,
That's
just whoop the shit out of Canada really quick on a Sunday afternoon.
We got
Right.
this.
Yeah.
We'll meet you at the border, fuckers.
No, but I was
No hatred towards
And
any
again-
Canadians.
No,
out there.
I love
and
the
again,
Canadian people.
it's
They're
like
very neat.
it's the extreme left that I was watching this program, and
Yeah.
the guys were talking. oh, well, Trump's going to keep pushing this into a war with Canada. Like,
With the Mounties.
dude, do you understand? Like, no, that's never going to happen.
They're going to ride down on their horses in
And
their red fucking suits.
If they want to keep
yeah.
this up, this beef that we supposedly have, they're going to fucking crumble, dude. As a country, they're going to fucking crumble.
Yeah. Because they don't have the infrastructure to do it. Trudeau fucking made sure of that.
Trudeau is a fucking bag of shit.
He was a succubus.
Dude, that dude is horrible. And now, remember I told you a while ago that it's the possibility he could be Fidel Castro's son? Dude, now I think it's true. Like, he's got a lot of the same tendencies as that fucking guy.
I don't know. You got to look at a picture.
Oh, yeah. No, they've already said, like, his mom was real close with Castro and spent weekends with him.
Really?
Oh, yeah. The timeline matches up perfectly. He looks exactly like Castro as a young kid.
Oh, shit.
Dude, check it.
Let's check this
tape.
out. Side by side. Let's check this out.
Now, do you think Trump's going to try and put
Justin Trudeau
put a
Fidel
push on the
Castro.
Panama Canal?
See, I don't know why he would. I mean, he thinks that because we had a...
That's Trudeau as a baby.
Get the fuck out of here.
Let's see. What?
That's his mom. Yeah.
That's
And
his mom with Fidel Castro?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, she was banging him.
This is them.
Jesus Christ.
Look at the last picture. Dude.
Come on.
Oh, my God. Oh, dude. He is.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a fucking
And
communist at heart.
have you ever seen his dad?
No.
Check this out.
Check this out. Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah, he looks just like him, right?
Let me see.
Oh, he looks like fucking Castro.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was away on business.
Wow.
Castro came in, gave her the old Cuban cigar, and walked the fuck out.
Yeah, Mama wanted that Cuban.
Blew some
Something
smoke.
spicy. That's
Yeah.
what she needed.
There's an interview with her, and they ask her about Castro, and she gets all smiley and red, and she was like, "He's just a very good friend to us." It's because he was giving you the old sausage.
If your left leg was Thanksgiving and your right leg is Christmas, can I visit you between holidays?
Even the real Fidel owes me 100 favors.
Yeah. Fuck, isn't that crazy?
Damn,
And again,
dude.
it's like you could fall down that rabbit hole too. But like sometimes the evidence to these fucking conspiracy theories are like, dude, why is it even called a conspiracy anymore?
Yeah, but
Right.
you could they could generate so many. I mean, that photo
See-
could have been chopped.
See, but the thing is with the JFK whole thing,
Yeah.
dude, after watching Reacher,
Reacher's great.
it's badass.
I love
Dude.
Reacher, dude.
think about that assassination scene and that whole crime scene was perfect. Think about the fucking Lee Harvey Oswald. All of a sudden, you just go up to the window where he was. There's the gun and the 3 shells on the windowsill.
Yep. Seems pretty.
Give me a fucking break.
Like, remember in Lethal Weapon, he's like, it's a little thin. A little too fucking thin.
Yeah, a little too fucking thin.
It is. It's like
It's a perfect crime scene, but nobody ever stopped to think that it was a little too perfect.
perfect. That it was set up that way to look perfect.
Dude, then what else I noticed, I don't know if it's true. I want to see it for myself. I haven't looked it up yet. But the guy says that the video that's out in the public where you watch JFK drive down the parkway there, pay attention to the tree behind him.
Okay.
It's supposedly floating. Like you see the top half of it, the bottom half is gone.
So it was like doctored or something.
Yes, because they're saying the driver of the car.
Shot him.
Right.
Well, I saw that video.
Yeah, he sent me that video.
That's an actual.
You see the driver
video.
turn around.
He's got
and
a tiny
does
little
something.
pistol, and he turns like this and go boom,
And that's when
right
he
when his head fucking
Yeah,
flies
when he
back.
gets that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would tell you what? Was his wife involved?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, if that pops off, you're going to hear that
No,
gunshot right
because
there.
she was acting in a natural fashion. She
natural
froze.
fashion, yeah.
She froze like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, and in that 2 seconds of what the fuck, he's already been shot 3 times. You know, so
but then they came up with that idea that the guy in the back it was the only one with an assault
that
rifle.
was that was Lee Harvey, the driver, guy in the Gunsmoke. You know,
Right.
the grassy knoll. It was triangulated. You see it. He goes forward and then backwards.
Yeah.
Back to the left.
Back and to the left. Yeah.
And you go the way of the route of the bullet because it's going to pull you first before it breaks your fucking face, and then you're going to go backwards. Okay?
Well, Lee Harvey Oswald definitely had something to do with it.
Oh, yeah. He's the patsy.
He was 100% patsy.
But it was
Because
all
if he
set up
wasn't, he
between the
would
mob.
still be alive.
Dude,
It was all set up
wasn't he
between
already
the
a
mob.
a resident of Russia at that
Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked for the KGB,
He
I
wanted
think.
to. He wanted to be fully involved in their thing.
And the U.S. paid for him and his wife to come over.
And then the whole Castro and the mafia thing, because Castro
the-
was actually making money off of the mafia
Yep.
for having their
Right.
casinos
wasn't
there.
it Sammy or Giancana, right?
It was Sammy Giancana. It was Trafficante down in
Yep.
Tampa. And it was Marcelo in New Orleans.
Yeah, the
Because
little fat
that's
guy.
where they got what's his name to go into because he was from New Orleans, the guy that shot him. That killed Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah,
Ruby?
Jack Ruby was from New Orleans.
No.
Yeah, he's
Ruby
from
was a
Louisiana.
Chicago gangster.
But he had strip clubs down in.
He was stationed
New
there.
Orleans.
He was stationed
Yeah.
there,
Yeah, yeah.
But he was a
But he
Chicago
worked-
gangster.
right? But he was over. Marcelo was the head of the. I believe that was his name. The New Orleans mob.
Yeah.
And he was very tight with Trafficante. In fact, I've never heard it, but they said that there's a video, an audio video between Sam Giancana, Trafficante, and Marcelo saying he's got to go, he's got to die.
Yeah. Yep. And they were talking about kind
This
of.
Kennedy,
fucking guy,
yeah.
yeah. That's crazy. But
Well,
it was
because
definitely the CIA and the mob.
Well, that was the tape that they had on the mob after they stopped that embargo with Cuba, and they found out how much money they were going to lose. That's why they were saying that he's got to go. You know, we're gonna lose fucking $20 million a year.
Well, because Kennedy didn't have the votes to win down in the South. So the mob used their influence in the labor unions to get him the votes in Georgia and
Right.
The Carolinas.
You know what's weird? It was the Democratic South that divided this country. And now they're more Republican than ever.
Than ever, yeah. That's because that's where all the Republicans go to vacation to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Switched.
That's the same
don't get
reason
it.
why Arizona
And we had this conversation when you go into like the whole history of both parties, man. And just, I'm sorry, I'm going to be associated with the party that is supposed to be known for anti-slavery. And they were formed as the anti-slavery party where every man should be created equal.
Yep.
That's the Republican Party. The Democratic Party, you'll see throughout fucking history,
Oh yeah.
they support segregation, they fuck with civil rights, they raise taxes so that way they can fucking reap the benefits of everything else.
We're all slaves. They create slavery. Yeah.
Why would anyone want to be a Democrat? And then when they sit there and say that our democracy is under attack, I'm like, this is a fucking republic.
It's
I don't.
never been a-
It's not
Yeah.
a democracy. It's a republic, people.
People, for some reason, think the word democracy means, this all type of
Yeah.
freedom, but it doesn't.
No. They think that it gives them a voice.
Yeah,
It gives them-
exactly. And
You're-
republic sounds constrained, like, it's the Republic of
But how can that
China.
feel?
You hear all,
Yeah,
See, but that's what I don't understand. How
China,
that can be
the people's
constraining because
Republic of, yeah.
it means that we're in control of things. And people don't understand is that the Constitution is basically a contract for the people and the government.
Yeah.
That if you violate these fucking civil rights that we laid out,
That's why
here,
it was
which is
signed.
the Bill of Rights. Yeah. If they violate those, we have a right to overthrow you
Yeah.
and
Yep.
fucking
We
say,
got to
get
check
the
and
fuck out.
balance. We
Yeah.
got to check and balance.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And,
And
you
they're
know-
trying to strip us of any kind of power to do so.
Right. And that's why the Democrats are up in arms with the fucking January 6th guys, that he pardoned. And it's just like, you can't do that. I can't believe that he would destroy our democracy. It's just like, well, you guys fucked it up in the first place. These guys did what they thought that they would do as a republic would do.
I was talking to this one guy, and I told him about, like, I don't think I know as much about the history as you do, but I do know that the KKK was formed from the Democratic side.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They literally formed it for those purposes of getting black people out.
Right.
And I was telling the dude about it.
Because they couldn't have them as slaves.
Yeah. So I was telling this guy about it. I was like, oh, yeah, I watched this documentary about it. It was really interesting. And he was like, oh, fake. Like, this is what drives me nuts. Just because you don't like something does not mean it's fucking fake.
Right.
And that's what they keep doing with history. They're erasing history, and that's one of the things.
Because it's sensitive.
Exactly. And that's one of the things about communism is that's what they do. They erase
Control
the past.
what you see.
Yeah.
So you can't go back
Control
to it.
what
and,
you know.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
Well, that's what Stalin did. Stalin basically just took everything that they had prior to the Bolsheviks taking over USSR and burned everything, and then he recreated the whole history of USSR by using that fucking kid. What the hell is his name? Posley Pavlov or whatever. Kid that was martyred because he actually stood up for the USSR because his parents were fucking, I guess, smuggling goods to other people to earn a living and all this kind of shit for, behind the tables and he stood up for the government and he ratted his parents out and then he got killed by his family.
Oh, wow.
So they martyred this kid because he stood up for what was right for communists, for Mother Russia, all that kind of shit. So, the fuck are you guys fucking doing, dude?
Yeah.
I don't know, but this country and this world got to do something quick.
The only thing that I'm glad about is that we didn't fucking elect Kamala Harris. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that would have been.
I'm starting to think she was just a glitch because I ain't seen nothing about her ever since.
Dude, but just think
glitch in the Matrix or
she
Mandela effect.
She was the. She was
a patsy.
Yep, she was a patsy. She was the one that, dude. She would have got into office. Day 1 or day 2, we would have been in some sort of war. We would have 100% been over in Ukraine fighting the Russians.
And we'd all be wearing the same thing.
Yep.
I guarantee it would be like a fucking
One
Black
of her
Mirror.
dress suits.
Yeah, dude, it would be terrible.
Power suit.
Power suit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we would be fucked. And dude, it was crazy the amount of illegal things that she did to get into the position she was. And everybody was just like, "Oh, that's normal." Like, it's not fucking normal.
know. And
how did he get all these votes and all this money? And then it was just like, "Your turn. Tagged you in. I'm out."
Right?
Like,
it was
wait a
Tulsi
minute.
Gabbard's turn.
Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard fucking. Oh, you want to talk shit about me?
Oh, dude,
okay. Let me pull this page of scroll of shit that you just did.
Dude,
And
she annihilated her.
She had nothing. I loved watching Tulsi Gabbard just sit there and be like, well, on this day in 19 fucking blah, 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 you did this. You blocked actual physical evidence that could have proven somebody's innocence from being imprisoned. You blocked that evidence.
30 years?
And that person ended up spending 30 years in prison.
Dirtbag.
Dude,
It's like
the whole time. She sucked her way through all of her success because she was dating Montel Williams for a long ass time. Then climbed the ladder to to a governor or something that he was buying her car.
So
she
do
was like
you
an
think-
escort.
And now this BlackRock fucking guy.
Do you think Biden's dementia, and I say that with quotes, was real, or the government told him you better start acting stupid so we can get you out of
I
here?
think he had it the entire time.
I think he had
You think, yeah.
It wasn't so much dementia that came on later, but I seriously think that he had Parkinson's because my mom had Parkinson's and I had to deal with that. She lived with me for 1.5 years. You can see it in how he walks.
You can see it in his eyes.
Well, yeah, but when he walks, that shuffle.
Right.
He doesn't step.
He turns into a
That's
rubber.
Parkinson's.
Okay.
Because that's the number one sign for Parkinson's. In case people are wondering, the number one sign is that when people lose the ability to be able to
Lift their
step,
feet?
and move, because that whole exercise with my mom is that we had to put a piece of paper down in front of her, and she had to step over the paper. That was hard for her. Mm-hmm. It was very difficult because they shuffle. They just show.
Okay. Because I thought maybe
And-
sometimes he was acting.
No, because when that Roomba, the Roomba turn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's real.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hilarious when my mom was living with me. We'd sit there and tell my mom different drawers just so we can watch her just like a ping pong ball. Bing, 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 bing. You know, we had our fun. but yeah, that's real. That's Parkinson's.
But I don't think you're wrong, but I think it's the wrong way of thinking about it. I think they knew the whole time. And they threw him into that position.
So this was a
because
play
then-
for 4 years.
Because
Right.
I think his wife was running a lot of shit too.
I don't think his wife.
but she signed her personally signing his name off on a bunch of different things
Yes.
that they've already found out about.
Bills that were written for him to have signed,
Yep.
but by other people behind the scenes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Phew.
I think they used that intentionally because they
The
knew
power of spousery.
they knew he would not be a pushback for anything. He's
No.
not going to say anything because I don't think he knew really what was going on majority of the time.
No. And I think they were just bringing in stuff to explain to his wife, like, this is we're gonna do this,
Yeah.
and this is gonna give us power. So sign
Yeah,
it.
limited amount of things she probably knows,
Yep.
but she was involved in moving.
Getting things going.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and that's been proven already because they showed the two different signings, like his hand
His
signature.
signature. Her signature. Yeah.
Dude, I still can't get over the fucking him shitting himself in the fucking driveway, dude.
That's awesome.
Just dropping a load.
What an embarrassment, though, for the country that they put us through.
Well, see-
honestly, I mean, that's why everything popped off.
See,
Because
but-
Putin and them were just like,
Because what Trump
ain't
was
nobody
saying-
gonna stop us.
Well, dude, what Trump was saying is absolutely true. The whole world witnessed us get weaker, and they were like,
Oh, yeah.
time to capitalize. Even the people that are here, even the communist type people that are in this country right now, they were like, this is our time to shine. Let's get a couple gay flags up on the White House.
Yep.
Let's do all this weird shit and see how far we can run with it.
Yeah, and then
And
you
if we
see
get
what he's
Kamala
doing.
in, we're good. We're golden.
Yeah, but you see what he's doing. He's tearing all that down.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking.
Which
I think Obama
and
was
you know what?
running a lot of shit.
Oh, I think he was behind the scene when he made that. He made a questionable statement about. I think it was like 4 years ago or something, maybe longer. They asked him, "Are you ever going to run again?" And he's like, no, I'm never going to run. But
he already served 2 terms.
if there's a face and maybe a little earpiece, if I can still wear my jogging pants and tell that person what I want, he's like, that would be ideal. I'm not saying that's exactly how that panned out, but I think he had a lot of fucking influence on everything that was going on.
Dude, I still love the little meme that people created with him talking to fucking Joe.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I think people figured out that she's a fucking retard.
Yeah.
It's like, man.
Well, you see the one where he's like,
Maryland knew.
Oh yeah, that's why
Marilyn-
she's dead.
Yep.
he got off. Yep.
That's why
Marilyn
she's
knew.
dead. She was sleeping with the brothers.
Yep.
She was a fucking.
And Sammy.
She was skewered by those two.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love Marilyn Monroe, but she was a shit actress. She
Oh yeah, she's not a
did
very good
nothing
actress.
that was like impressive.
No,
She knew what she could do to get into certain.
she
You
was
know?
married to Joe DiMaggio, and she slept with the presidents.
She climbed the ladder how she knew
slept with
how.
the
and-
president.
Exactly.
She slept with Sam Giancana.
on her knees and on her back.
You know, hey, teach their own.
Hey man, whatever,
if
man.
That's what you know.
But
And
she
she
had,
knew, and she knew what she was doing.
but
I wouldn't say she was proud of it, but she did not.
But see, like her, here's another conspiracy theory.
Yep. Her murder.
Her
Suicide,
yeah.
murder, whatever you want to call it.
She was in love with John F. Kennedy, and she was ready to out him, like fucking straight up. Like, we slept together here, we've been together here on this date, we went on vacation here. I mean, she had all that documented in that so-called diary that disappeared.
Yeah.
You know, all that was documented, and she was gonna out him out to Jackie Onassis and cause that whole fucking drama, and have that being out. They couldn't have that. You
So
know?
you think it was the government?
Oh, dude, for sure.
100%,
100%. I mean, if you read the books, I have books behind you there on fucking Marilyn Monroe and her death and shit. There's people that went to her house hours before the cops were even called. Like they cleaned the house
Yep.
before the cops came.
Yeah, I knew about that. Dude, and then, so here's another thing. So you got to think about all these people that were either about to come out and say something or that had so much pull that they were a threat. Because another person I started looking into about 2 weeks ago was Bob Marley. Dude,
Oh,
Bob
see that-
Marley
you see that
thing
movie?
is real questionable, dude. Real questionable.
Well, he was really political, dude.
Yeah.
He was very
yeah.
political.
And he had a huge uprising behind him, like to the point where they could overthrow a lot of shit.
well, he was about to take over the Jamaican governor's house.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the way that he died, they said the infection that happened in his foot, because it was supposedly he had a cut on his foot or something, and then he went out and he played soccer with a group of friends, and they
Yeah.
said that he walked through a puddle, and this is how he got this
Well, he didn't clean it.
infection
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
But now or the thing that I read, I shouldn't say that. I don't know if it's true or not, but they were saying that it was a man-made virus that was in the puddle. And the way that the one dude that was with him, he said, same thing, some people came in and cleaned stuff. There was a huge amount of, they said, government people that came through. They had this camp, I guess, and they came through and they did a bunch of stuff there, and they had no idea why they were there. And the next day he steps in this puddle and it all goes downhill from there. And it's like it reaches, but like,
It seems like a farce.
who knows, man? I mean, like,
Because I'm just thinking. Like,
So were all the puddles laced?
I don't know.
Or they
mean,
just
if you've been
they're
to
like,
New
hey,
Orleans,
you guys gotta kind of like.
I mean, if you've been to New Orleans, those puddles down there are fucking green,
you could
bro.
die of shit. Yeah, you could die of shit for
I mean,
sure.
they stopped one of our friends from sitting on the fucking sidewalk. He's like, oh no, you know, you get bourbonades from sitting down there.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
yeah. All the
He's-
urine and shit that's
Well,
in the-
he
yeah.
just straight up like pointed to the homeless guy right next to the fucking door of the bar that we were going to. He's like, you see him? He's like, even he's smart enough to sit on cardboard. You know?
Right.
Yeah, I guess Trey KO'd, motherfucker. Motherfucker said what?
yeah, the first thing, Bob Marley, when you pull it up, it's got all these different things about how this thing was like man-made.
Yeah.
Because they did I guess they got his blood test and stuff, and they're like, this wouldn't have been. So it may not have even been in the puddle. He may have been injected with something.
Something.
And
Yeah.
they're
Right.
saying that the infection was from that, but they're saying when they did his blood,
It was
there was
gangrene.
this other thing involved in the rapid what's the word?
The acceleration of gangrene.
Yeah, basically.
Because that's what it said it was. And he
Yeah.
died of gangrene because he didn't.
But it was
disinfect the cut.
something like that fast. Like it happened incredibly quick.
Really?
It makes you could honestly question every
Everything.
death of every
Yeah.
person that
Yeah.
was in Hollywood, politics. I mean, you could question everybody's death.
Yeah.
Find a conspiracy behind it.
See, but here's my question of even today. Okay, it's not so much the people that have died. It's about what about the people that haven't died? Where's the Epstein list?
Supposedly, what's her name? The new what's her,
I know for a fact that the Clintons have a huge thing to do with Epstein.
oh yeah. I told you this before. I do not think we're getting those lists.
No.
Because I think if we really do, it's crumbling everything. I
Oh.
think so many people are involved.
Fucking do it, dude. Purge, dude.
Yep.
Then we can actually see them for what they are. It's a
Yep.
bunch of perverted fucking greedy bastards that think that they can run the world by their fucking vision.
Diddy
weird.
and him, they were.
I think it's all the same
I heard
thing.
that Diddy actually filmed
His
videos on
Yeah.
Epstein's island.
He filmed 3 videos or some shit like that on the island. That's what I'm
Music
saying. Like, I don't
videos,
think
yeah.
these are like isolated cases. I think this is a huge network of different people all over the world that are high powered in whatever area they are. You could have a fucking.
So you call it the Illuminati? Is that?
You know, like.
And so
But what's happening with
Tupac
it?
alive in Cuba?
So they just dangle it in front of us like a fucking carrot on a
No, I
stick, and
think
then
we
it
were
just
never
goes
supposed
away.
to
We're
know. It
gonna
was
sweep it
never-
under the rug.
No, they
it
give
was
out
never supposed to
because
pop.
there's a thing in like the Freemasons and some other Skull and Bones or something that they so it's all like traditions and fucking like myths and stuff like that. But one of the things is, and I'm probably getting this wrong, and somebody can look it up. I don't fucking care. But one of the things is that you have to come out some sort of way through a movie, through a song, through an interview, and say your true intentions so it can come to fruition.
While in a dress.
Yeah.
So
Think about it. Well, they actually did this whole thing on actors that have been incorporated into this crap.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the actors that had to wear a
Hazing.
dress.
Yeah, it's
Oh
hazing.
yeah,
It's a
I've seen
hazing.
that. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a hazing thing.
Dude,
Who
look
was
up
it
the
that said
look
he refused to? Was it Dave Chappelle or
It was Dave Chappelle.
But
Yeah,
he
yeah.
even did
Cat
it.
Williams.
Cat Williams?
But
yeah.
Dave Chappelle did it.
Did he?
Dave
Which
Chappelle,
movie?
Men in Tights. He was blinking with two. He had
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
boobs,
yeah.
and he was
So
in a
eventually he
dress.
gave in.
Well, no. That was Mel Brooks, though. That was Mel Brooks making fun of them.
He still made.
He didn't wear a dress.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh, yeah, no. Yeah,
he wore
the
a
hard
dress
garb
and a wig
yeah,
and everything.
yeah,
They
yeah.
all did. But no, there's some other stuff too. So there's the broken foot. There's
Yes.
the left eye club. There's the red bottoms shoes.
To the
These are all
shoes.
real
Yeah,
things that. So the red shoe thing it's to indicate that you're walking
Part
on
of-
you're walking on the blood of what was it? You're walking on the blood of something. So the bottoms of their shoes are red. All these elite
That's Louis
people.
Vuittons.
Yeah. And then
Like they'll have dress shoes in the bottom of the dress shoes and be
all
bright
red.
red.
Yeah. And it's
On,
a weird
like,
thing,
the
like on
black
the
carpet,
red, on
yeah.
the red carpet and
On the
shit.
red
You'll see
carpet,
all
yeah.
these dudes and like regular people, blah blah blah. But then there's a group of them that all have these red bottoms, and that's another thing you could look it up. Same thing with the left. I think it's the Left Eye Club. Is that this guy did this whole thing too. He said within a year there was over like something like 160 actors that all had a black eye. Their left eye was black, in the same month at the same time. And they're saying that is another hazing thing, that they have done something or they want to go somewhere else, like to climb the ladder.
It's like an occult ceremony.
So they basically say like, all right,
generate-
your initiation, because you want to make X amount of money, we got to punch you in the fucking eye. And dude, Tom Hanks, Brad Pitt, fucking Jamie Foxx, all these people, like
Rock.
shit ton of people all had a black eye. The foot thing, same thing. At the same time for a month or whatever, there was something like 200 different actors that all had a broken foot at the same time. How many people do you see that you know personally break their foot? How many of you like been around, witnessed?
Maybe
So
one.
you're telling me actors in a small community of actors, because there's not actually many of them,
Right.
all in Hollywood, at the same time they all have the same broken foot?
I picture like these cult,
That's very
like,
strange.
where they're trying to
Like-
do things to like gain power.
Yeah, like Bohemian Grove.
Well, it's kind of like the Will Smith thing with Chris Rock.
Yeah.
You know, because Chris Rock is not conformative. Well,
No.
Will Smith is. But yet Chris Rock has the power, being that he's not a nonconformist like Dave Chappelle. You
Yeah.
know, these guys have made their names. Mm-hmm. They're not going to fucking be told what to do.
They're now
that
off.
they've made their
They're
fucking
now
name.
off the canceled list. You cannot cancel those type of people anymore.
No.
You can't do it.
You can't.
Because they've already said, nope, I don't give a fuck about it anymore. So
Right.
they're like untouchable at that point.
Well, look
And-
at how Mel Gibson backed out for a while and then just
because
came back, dude. Like
with a vengeance.
Yeah,
he got
dude.
sick and tired of it. And he's like, I love how I think he had to, like in an interview in a podcast or something like that, where somebody even asked him. He's just like, you know what? I disappeared for a while, but after thinking, you know, why should I leave?
Yeah.
I'm not the one doing something wrong here. And he's like, fuck these people. You're not going to tell me what the fuck I can and can't do. And
He
when
said
you
he
know.
said the biggest thing is the most freeing thing is when you can turn around and say, fuck you.
Yeah.
And he's like, and that's where I was at. They tarnished my name. They broke me down. They found me at embarrassment is the
Yep.
biggest thing ever.
And what, his house just burned down in Malibu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he said right after that, he was like, once I was the bad one, I could take a breath and say, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I feel better now.
Yeah.
Because that's how you see me. So now I can rebuild a different way.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing. He's coming back strong as shit too.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
He's got a new production company that's with the people that made.
I thought it was with Mark Wahlberg, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Mark Wahlberg. But what's the one with
the guy that made The Chosen?
Is that the trafficking one? The sex trafficking? With
No,
the
I
kids?
haven't seen that one. No, The Chosen's the one about the Jesus story that's on
Oh.
Angel
The Passion.
Studios.
The Passion.
Passion of the Christ.
Angel Studios.
Angel Studio. That
brutal,
it's
dude.
a part of their.
It's
You
a
seen
spin-off
that?
of that.
Oh,
The
what?
Passion?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah, it's intense.
It's so
Yeah, it's-
brutal.
Did you see the new Gladiator?
No, I saw bits and pieces of it. It was stupid.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch it, but I started watching the beginning. I was like, I think this is gonna be cornball.
Yeah, I saw the beginning and then I
Yeah.
saw the end, and I'm like, oh, he turned out being a bad guy. I'm like, yeah.
Wah, wah.
What's his name's it?
Denzel.
Denzel. Yeah, it's so hard to not hear Denzel being like, "You talking to me? Hey,
Spoiler alert,
yeah,
spoiler alert.
Well, he had a weird thing with that movie actually. So he had something like a 3-minute scene of a huge makeout session with a guy, and they cut it from the movie, and he was super upset about it.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
But I thought he was one of those actors that didn't want scenes like that with him.
Yeah, I thought so too. Like you'd never see him kissing anyone.
It was
Well, Two Guns, and he was kissing her, and she was actually topless in front of him, but he didn't really make advances on her. You don't see him grab her or anything like that.
Now-
She advanced on him and kissed him on the mouth, but it wasn't open mouth or anything.
the thing I seen. He's being interviewed, and they're talking about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I had this wonderful scene," and he was like, it took several different shots to take it, blah blah blah, and he was like, and it was one of the first times I was romantic with another male on the screen, and he was like, yeah, and they cut it from the movie. I was really upset about it. I'm like, all right. I mean, maybe it's like an actor's thing,
he had to get into that part real
so
hard.
he wanted it
It's
to,
not real hard.
Well,
Yeah, what's your choice of words?
he's going in there hiding. But fucking, dude, I wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, even if I know it was acting, there's no way in hell I'd be able to do it because I'm just not wired that way.
Yeah, it's.
A lot of people aren't, and I think he's one of them.
Well, that's the thing.
But
too,
he's just old and
and
fucking
then you
needs to
think
make money.
about then you think about all the Harvey Weinstein things that came out and all this Epstein shit and how people get roles and stuff like that. They've been doing this
Since the 50s.
dude. James Dean, James Dean,
yeah, that's why
who was a great one of the greats.
Yeah.
He sucked his way through roles because that was just kind of the thing. Because every producer back in the
Hudson,
fucking 50s,
But he
Rock
was,
Hudson.
but he started out racing though.
huh? Yeah, he was.
James Dean.
Yeah, James Dean. He was actually
Rock
a racer. He was
Hudson,
one of
yeah.
those Porsche racers,
He had-
but he was a pretty boy.
Well, he also had he raced. He was racing bikes. He had the Triumph 110 that was like his golden bike that he loved. I did a whole thing about James Dean. He was a fascinating dude. Don't get me wrong, but when everybody's saying what Weinstein made me do and blah blah blah, but they've established that this is, and I'm not saying this is right, but these are the steps that not just one person, thousands of people have done.
right.
You know what I mean? This is not new.
Well, that's just like what 50 Cent was saying, with the whole P. Diddy thing. And he's just like, no, I can make my name without having to do that fucking corny ass shit. You want to do that? You do that. That's fine. I'm not doing that.
Well, you heard about that too, right?
No.
So this lady Jaguar Wright and
I know. She's
Kim
really
Porter.
vocal.
Kim Porter was whose wife? Puffy's wife. So she wrote a book before she died mysteriously, and in the book she said Puffy had a problem with Pac because they were in an open relationship. Puffy and Kim Porter. So they had partners. She knew the stuff Puffy did with dudes. He voiced that to Tupac. He told Pac, hey, you can be with Kim if I can be with you. And Pac said, hell fucking no.
Dude, which I find funny because stories are different.
Yep.
Because Pac was bullshit. was a persona.
Oh yeah, he was.
And
an
he's
yeah.
actually a flamboyant actor.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
100%.
And he was 100% gay.
That's,
But he would sleep with women to pursue the persona.
so those are
you-
I was gonna say those are the two stories.
You see the new
Yeah.
conspiracy of when they changed the name to 2 to the number 2 and Pac, that there's actually
instead of the
two
TU.
of them, a body double
Well,
that looks just
I don't know.
like
Oh, yeah,
Tupac.
But there was they showed Tupac when he still had hair back in the 80s and shit, right before he became big, you know. They show him behind the scenes
Yeah,
talking.
he was 18 years old at a
He's
school
just,
interview.
I'm just acting. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to
He
be
went
doing.
to Juilliard.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was actually
that's
a
when he
very,
was,
very intelligent, creative.
when he was
dude.
friends
Like,
with
he
what's her
was.
name?
He was. That's why
Yeah.
he was able to write the lyrics.
Jada.
At least, yeah,
And,
yeah.
and that's
Smith's
why Jada
wife.
Pinkett Smith, everybody says that she is so deeply
Fixated.
fixated with him because she knows his whole story.
Yep.
Right.
She know, and a lot of people are coming out now saying they wanted to gear gangster music in a certain way, so they needed a character, and he played Bishop because right after that interview,
I just watched it. But it was on
2 years
TV,
later,
man.
after that interview, so he was 18 in that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's when he was like, "I'm
He
a
was
lot
sitting
like
on
my
the
mom."
steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather just be like my mom, just
and
hanging
he's
out.
Like, I'm
just-
vocal. I'm opinionated like
Yeah.
my mom, and he's doing
Yes.
all these hand
Yes,
gestures.
and he's just
2
all-
years later, he plays Bishop in what's the
Juice.
movie?
Poetic-
Juice.
Oh, Juice. Yeah.
He plays him, and he never breaks character the rest of his life.
Yep.
He played
But-
Bishop that whole time.
But until he got to whatever, when he got to Death Row Records, right? That's I believe that's when they changed his spelling to 2PAC
instead of the
TUPUC.
Yeah,
And they're saying he had a body double. And
Possible.
and that was who was actually shot that night was his body double.
Well, did you see? Well, it came out a couple of years ago.
Because they got the body doubles, they got the face to face like comparisons, and Tupac's got a crooked tooth on his side, and the body double doesn't.
you
That's
seen
how,
Eddie Murphy's body double?
yeah,
That dude's crazy.
Look just
Looks
like him, man.
exactly like him. Like when you say
crazy.
body double, like literally looks like
looks
his twin.
and sounds like
Sounds like him. And he was on. This was in the 80s. He was on shows and they did interviews.
Is this the
with
Beverly Hills cop guy?
yeah,
yeah, around
Yeah,
that time period.
yeah,
And they
His
were
brother
like-
looks a lot like him,
Yeah.
but
Well, Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah.
But like this guy,
R.I.P.
they were they were interviewing him and they were like, "So how did this all happen?" He basically said Eddie needed a body double, and he's like, "And I sound and look exactly like him."
but there's all this stuff now that Tupac's like some of his concerts were not him.
Yeah.
They were the body double.
Oh
out
well,
there.
that's been an ongoing thing with celebrities for
when
a long
he was
time.
when he was in Vegas that night, they running through when they got
Yeah,
the
where they beat
video
up
when
the
they're
guy.
in the casino that was actually Tupac.
And then he left.
And then when he left, went back to the hotel room. He never went out, but they wanted him to do more appearances, so the body double jumped back out.
So did you actually think that it was fucking Suge and Puffy that collaborated in killing Biggie and fucking
I
Pac?
think so.
Absolutely, it was a marketing thing.
I think, and I also think Puffy's the one that set up Suge to go to
Yeah.
jail.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
So, but I actually think the original when Pac was killed in the car, I think Puffy was trying because what's his name? He didn't get hit, but he got real fucking close to getting hit.
Yeah.
Who's the
Suge, he
killer?
was in the driver's seat.
Orlando
Yeah.
something. He was was he a
One of the bodyguard
Yeah.
guys.
he was a crip.
Crip. No, he was a
The guy
Crip
that he was
hired.
chasing in
Yeah.
in the
And he said
casino.
he's still
'cause he
alive.
had a
He,
death row.
yeah, he's still
stole it
alive, and he said in an interview, Puffy offered him $1 million to take out Tupac.
Man, he just got released.
Yep.
It wasn't too long ago that
Yeah, it was like 2 years
I
ago.
think I remember seeing it. There wasn't a documentary on this.
Yeah.
There's been documentaries. What's his name's in a movie about
the movie got shut down. Johnny Depp.
it? Johnny Depp.
That
yeah.
got shut down for
Johnny
like
Depp
4
plays
years,
a detective.
dude.
Yeah, that's
What?
Yeah.
Johnny Depp and I forget who else. Is it
Oh,
that plays Gladiator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe and Johnny Depp played detectives investigating
And
the murder.
Johnny Depp plays the detective that
They shut that movie
the Vegas
down?
detective.
it came out.
No,
but it
L.A.
took-
detectives.
It took like 5 years because the LA police department had huge problems with it.
With
for some reason.
because with Vegas,
Yeah.
because
They
Vegas
screwed it all
yeah.
up. They screwed the
Well,
investigation up.
in the
you know?
movie, they're basically saying that the police were involved in his murder. And the LA police, while the movie was being made, had huge backlash.
It's a great movie,
It had
too.
huge backlash towards the movie and was not letting it get out for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
They were
But there's
making up
two.
shit.
I've
but-
seen several documentaries where there were two actual detectives, LA detectives.
Yeah.
They were gang units, and they
Yeah.
were investigating it.
Yep.
And they're
And
still
the one
they'll
guy got
still
shot.
do interviews.
He got shut
Yeah.
down too. He got kicked off the force. So
Oh
there's
yeah,
a
they
lot of weird
totally
shit.
screwed up that whole investigation, and that was what
Paid off by Puffy.
Vegas screwed it up. Vegas screwed up
Yeah,
the
'cause they
investigation,
said that-
and LA didn't follow up on it.
Right.
When,
Because LA said that Vegas fucked it all up.
Yeah.
And it was screwed up to the point to where they couldn't even put 2 and 2 together to
Yeah.
make fucking 4. So they were just like, fuck it, this is your thing.
Yep.
You know?
It's the same thing like the Zodiac Killer. There were so many different places that it was that the translation wasn't working out. Like
Right.
some was in, this part of California, then this part of California. That like the jurisdiction they weren't
Wasn't-
communicating,
yeah.
especially back in the 70s. So like
that's
nobody could come to an
Well, even in
agreement
the
on
90s,
anything.
even in the 90s when
Well-
they were taking down the mafia and shit like that in Vegas.
Oh, yeah,
and
they
all that
needed-
kind of. So I mean, they needed some sort of freaking scapegoat and then make an example, but they couldn't fucking put it together because you got the East Coast guys from New York that's fucking Puffy and all them, and then you got Suge Knight and the guys from the West Coast fucking with all this kind of crap. So it's kind of like, well, who the fuck did what? And then whose guy is this? And then this guy was driving whose car,
Yeah.
and he was driving why, and because he knew him how, and
Yeah.
they didn't know how fucking to put anything together.
And they were able to erase so many of the documents from the police files that's how they knew that it was an inside job from the cops. That the actual files that regular,
Yeah, the document numbers were missing.
were just gone.
well, doesn't
Yeah.
the movie kind of touch on the idea that it was the actual LAPD
that
murdered him?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the whole like
because
blowback.
he was
so they were the actual hit squad?
yeah.
he was so like outward.
He
with
was
what
an
his
influential
talking about
name
to the
because
black
the whole
community
like
in Los
the
Angeles.
whole thug
yeah.
life movement wasn't actually like it's not just like
He
a bunch
started
of
it while he was locked up. The
Thug Life movement
yeah.
is that he associated with different gang members from LA while in prison, that it was like a unifying of these gangs while in prison
Right.
to grow.
Because he got shot, right? He got shot like twice
That-
or 3 times.
He
Yeah,
got
shot
shot
in New
3
York.
times in the nuts. Well, 1 time in the nuts. But that time originally, I was just going to bring that up. I think Puffy set that up.
Yeah,
because
that happened
because
at Biggie's studio.
Yeah, that happened at Biggie's studio, and Biggie had no idea. And I truly believe this because there's like audio of him like saying like, "I had no idea Pac was even coming up here." But yet these guys that were associated with Biggie,
Well, they
knew
say
he
it was
coming
what's
up
it
there.
called? That one group,
Oh, Mobb Deep.
Mobb Deep. Yeah,
Interesting.
crazy stuff. But there's conspiracies behind everything. Dude. There's probably a conspiracy on why we're sitting in your basement right now.
These guys are trying
Like,
to
what are these guys doing?
3 white guys
Yeah.
getting together.
these guys are trying to take over the world.
They're putting it together.
They're getting it all together, guys. We got to stop that shit.
Yeah, right. These guys are starting to think too much.
Thinking's not good in this fucking world. It's looked down upon when you think
Having an opinion outside of the
normal
narrative
realm.
is that's the thing it just bothers me that opinions are no longer, it's, you know what I mean, like you have to get on board or you're a piece of shit. There's no in between, and it's
no.
like, dude, why? Like,
And you wonder why people just like fucking just end up selling everything that they
Yeah,
own and just
going
going off
off
grid.
grid.
Yeah.
Because I'm about there, bro. I'm like almost there. Like I'm
But
so
nowadays,
sick
it's
and tired of
almost
this
too
shit.
late. There's no way to annihilate your footprint.
Yeah.
Either way, there's still some kind of carbon footprint somewhere.
Yeah, you can't
know.
buy anything.
well, that's
Yeah.
that's the funny thing too about like the Elon Musk stuff, and they're like, he has all of our information, and but dude, the government has all your shit.
Yeah, the moment
Immediately you're born.
the moment you're born, you got your handprint taken,
Yep.
you get your footprint taken, you get your blood taken, you get your fucking swab taken,
And
it's
they all start right
fucking
then
done.
and
They
there
know whether
because-
your dick's been cut or not.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And then the control starts because you can't leave that hospital without a fucking car seat.
Yep.
So get one.
Yep.
Yep.
And guess
From
what?
birth.
You don't have a car seat, we're keeping that kid and we're selling them.
Yep.
Besides the name that your parents give you, you are a number.
Yep.
So
And your name's not even Your number is what matters the rest of your life.
I'm just waiting for them to brand it on people now, so they can scan your social security number. And all
Well,
that.
they're doing it right
It
now.
won't be branded. It'll be a chip.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing it
So you
right
can
now
scan it.
subtly with the what's it called, Real ID, right? The Real ID.
How stupid is
now
that?
they scan everything. I smoke cigarettes. I go in, they scan it. Now, dude, don't look like I'm under the age of 20, 18, whatever, right? But you're gonna scan. Well, yeah, because we've been in trouble for selling under. Oh, that's great, but I'm not underage.
Yeah.
Well,
So
it's
why
not my
are you scanning my ID?
It's not my problem that you can't do
your
math.
job. Yeah.
Right. The reason
know?
you're scanning my ID, I've heard several things, is that they give the information over to insurance companies. So if I apply for insurance
Makes sense.
and I say,
I'm
yeah,
not
I only
smoker.
smoke once a week, and they're like, really? This motherfucker buys a pack every day.
Bullshit. You go to Thornton's once a day, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know exactly.
Says
where you
Emily,
go.
the 17-year-old checking you out. You know?
Right?
Oh, and they see like that shit. Like we laugh about it.
It's
Could it be
what-
true?
Well, it's just like going to the dispensaries and shit, man. They scan your fucking ID when you go
Yep.
in. They got, So I'm just like,
And the video, everything's on video.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that took off to Russia?
Oh,
That took asylum in Russia?
Lee Harvey?
No. Huh, yeah, he was one of them. No, the guy
Snowden?
about Snowden.
Snowden's he's coming back though.
Is he
Snowden.
coming back?
Who the hell's Snowden?
Snowden,
Snowden.
Who's Snowden?
dude, I don't even
ratted
know
out-
his full
Dude,
story.
So he worked for the government.
This is a big one.
Yeah, he worked. There's a great
Snowden.
movie out about him.
Is that the movie Snowden?
It's called Snowden. Yes, you gotta watch it.
Yeah.
He worked for the government right when they were starting to do face recognition cameras
Okay.
and how they would take information from your cell phones.
So this is kind of like an eagle eye type thing.
Yes. So
That's scary.
So he was helping to develop it all, I guess. Okay. From the movie, he was helping to develop it
Get in
and
front of your
monitor
mic.
it, and he was monitoring like how they would just go on, even though you're doing nothing wrong, because they said it was for terrorists.
Yeah.
Even though you're doing nothing wrong, they have access to your cell phone. The government does. And they can look up everything
Oh,
that you
yeah,
do,
dude.
track you, do whatever they want. Well, but they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Without
that's like
without
the But that's why I don't trust
warrant.
Bill Gates, because he runs Google and all that.
And
kind
he's
of
nothing.
thing.
But
And
He's not even a
Snowden-
scientist. He's not even
he's-
government. Nothing.
nothing. He rides. His success is all fucking ridden on
From
the
somebody
coattails of
else's.
others.
Yep.
Snowden cracked it open. And
He was
just
a whistleblower.
let it- He was a whistleblower.
And
And
they
as soon as he whistle blew, he took off to Russia.
he was
and took
extradited.
asylum.
Yeah, he went to Russia. And
But it
because they
shut
said
down
that
that
if he
whole
comes
thing.
here,
Yeah,
he's
watch
going
the
straight to
movie.
prison, possible death, all this shit, and like, so he's been sent over there, and he's been staying there ever since. And now, Trump kind of said like,
Is he gonna-
we're entertaining the idea. Did you also hear about all the pardons that Biden had for his family? All got
They got canceled.
yep.
Thank
Oh,
God.
really?
Yep.
Ah.
Because
What about all the rest of the fucks?
they said whoever was charged with something that went through.
So Fauci, did he pardon Fauci?
Yep.
But Fauci wasn't
For
charged
what?
with anything.
Like, if you're gonna pardon somewhere, isn't there a reason
So-
behind
Yeah,
it?
So,
that's what I
all
told
the
them last
people-
time.
All the people that had nothing, like they got pardoned and they had no reason to be pardoned, they all got canceled.
So he's just like handing
So
out.
now-
hey, here's a get out of jail free
Yep.
card when
Yeah.
they come for
Yep,
you.
that's
Yeah.
literally what
Yeah.
he did with his family and a bunch of other people. But now they're all back to normal, so they can.
They can
Trump can
indict
get
them
him.
or go after them for
That's
whatever.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Because Fauci didn't even get charged with anything.
No.
And I was like, and I think we mentioned it last time that we were freaking talking about it. It's like the only way that you can issue a pardon is if somebody's charged with
Done
something.
something.
Yeah.
Right, right.
You know, like the
Like
guys
his
from the
son
January
Brandon.
6th.
Like
Well,
his son.
Brandon. Yeah,
No,
or not Brandon.
What's his name? Yeah, his son. Whatever the fuck that piece of shit coke.
With the cocaine, yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Pardon
actually
him.
charged.
Hunter?
Hunter.
Come
he
on,
was
white
a-
guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He was actually
Connor.
charged, did all that, and he got him out.
Yeah.
That's an actual pardon.
Yeah.
That one they can't get back.
Right.
But the other ones,
there's no crime
Which
attached
that's
to
actually
it.
one he should have done anyways.
But the thing
it's his
is,
fucking kid.
but the
Yeah.
pardons can be null and void if there's no crime attached to the pardon.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So
Yeah,
You
it
can't
has
use
to
a
be,
pardon for later. You can't
Right.
take a pardon,
And
stick it in
that's-
your pocket.
and
Right.
that's what Biden was trying to do. Like,
'Cause-
hey, hold on to this because if they try to come after you, you've
See,
already
that's-
been pardoned.
see, that's
and they were
wrong.
like, wait a minute.
see, and that, which he
Surprised
went.
he didn't pardon himself.
Well, if they
I
wanted to
pardoned
do it,
myself.
but if they wanted to do it and do it the right way, diplomatic immunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
you can't testify against the state, so you can't arrest me.
Loopholes,
Interesting,
loopholes.
Yeah. So, but looks like you guys are fucking about done, huh?
Yeah. Man.
It's only been 3 hours.
Holy shit.
Damn.
See, that's what I'm saying. It goes.
It
dude.
goes, man.
Once you get the chit chat.
So how long do you? Are you put the whole 3 hours out, or what do you do?
Pretty much, yeah. I'll just edit it down so it sounds good because we're recording audio only tonight, just because whatever fucking reason. Goddamn computers. But yeah, I'll just edit it down, make it sound nice and crisp and clean and fucking.
Is it a live one too? I mean, do you do? Is it live?
He
that
wants to
people
do
can-
it.
I can't. I want to do a live one, but
Yeah.
this fucking program that I got, it's a pain in the fucking dick. And if it doesn't run 100% smooth, it doesn't run what you want it to do. And like today, normally I have all my cameras working. No problems. I'm recording. We got shit going.
Right.
Today, it would only pick up one or maybe two. And then it would only register this one or it would only pick up this one.
Yeah.
They wouldn't all work together. So it's like it's either
the-
something with my computer or the fucking program.
The one day we came here, did a full thing, like 3 hours, we leave. Didn't fucking record. We were like, oh,
Yeah.
that sucks.
It's because we
Oh,
get
didn't press record.
no.
Oh, he hit it. Some
OBS. It would record, but then it would just
Stop.
it would just cut itself off. And I wouldn't even be paying attention to it when we're in the midst of a conversation and shit. And I just look over and all of a sudden, what the fuck? You guys have been here for fucking 3 hours talking and it's only got 23 minutes recorded? I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know? So, but
Yeah, this has been cool.
right on, man.
Time went on. I didn't even.
good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, time flies, man.
It's cool coming here, man. It's good stuff.
Well, it's cool.
bullshit.
It's cool being able to chat up with, like my son always says, like-minded
Individual.
individuals. You know.
I mean,
Well,
you
even
can-
if you don't got the same opinion, it's good where you can go to a space and not be judged
Right.
for
Right,
like
right.
every little fucking comment you make, and you're like,
yeah.
oh my god,
fuck,
dude!
yeah.
Like it's after a while, it's overwhelming. People are scared to fucking talk and like have an opinion, and it's like, dude, everybody has different opinions. It's all right.
Right.
We'll work through it. It'll be fine.
And guess what? Sarcasm is not the devil, people.
No, it's not.
It's just a fucking form of communication.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
Stop taking everything so literally.
Right? You know?
Like, if I call one of my friends a fag, it's because he's being a fag. Like, it's not
Which
because
is
of
just
his,
a cigarette.
Jeez.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not his,
Just a cigarette.
it's not their sexual orientation. It's because
Yeah.
they're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, if I call somebody retarded, it's not because I'm going to be like, hey, you're fucking retarded.
yeah.
You know? No. It's just fucking retarded.
Yeah, they're fucking retarded. But
All right, on, man.
all right,
shit.
guys.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming. I hope you come back again, man. This
I'll
was
try.
fun. This
I
was
never
good.
know my schedule, but
This is good shit. Good shit.
Yeah, this was a good one.
Right on.
All right, goodbye, world.
Later on.
adios for all you south of the border.